Yeah, my dog decided to get into the garbage in our bathroom this morning, so it's,
Woo!
it's what I've been cleaning up. I would have liked to have just relaxed and planned before the game, but it is what it is.
Running for a D&D session? Never.
No.
Well, I usually like to take at least 15 minutes to a half hour before the game to ease into it, kind of get everything in my head. But
Yeah.
it's not always possible. So Marcellinus was supposed to scribe today, but he is not here. Is anyone willing to step in? Or if not, I can just roll for it. If anyone wants the inspiration point.
I'll do it.
Alright, thank you for that, Philia.
Let me see. September.
Alright, so Philia scribing and Moonbiter. You were the previous scribe, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to give us a quick recap of what happened last time?
I would love to. Let me look at my handy dandy little notes. So, last week, we were split up in town, doing, most of us in town, Duranu in the forest, doing various things at the same time. Duranu was doing ranger things, Philia was being comforted by Marcellinus after her encounter in the cursed church. Quinta was feeling suicidal, and Karen and Moonbiter were being caring parents, trying to convince him otherwise. He goes out, checks out the church. Nothing really happens, doesn't get any additional information, but he also doesn't get killed, so win-win. Eventually, we all meet back up at the inn, where Fluffy decides to be Lassie and tell us that Duranu's stuck in the well. So we send him a note so that he can come join us. We get back to the inn. We talk a little bit. Neil comes in looking sexy as always with his colleagues. And then we talk about getting an official contract written down about what our task and reward was from the group. We head over to the farm that Durrani had scouted out. Once we get there, with no issues, because Durrani is showing us the way, we find Iron-Tide mercenaries, basically have control of the farm. Most of them are around the house or watching the road in, and there's an ogre sunbathing in the field closest to us. Karen shapes into an orc, and me and her go out there, and we just confuse the ogre essentially into coming close enough to the forest line so we can jump it with everybody else who's hiding. After we take it out, all the mercenaries come to investigate, and we're able to lure them into the forest where we ambush them. And aside from a drawn-out battle with Durando getting beat up a little bit, we were able to take care of them pretty quickly. And now all that is left to do is explore the farm and see if there's any more Iron-Tide forces waiting for us.
Alright, thank you for that. Did anyone go down during that fight?
Yeah, me.
Durando did.
So you
Did
got...
Philia not go down? I know she got battered, but I don't know if she actually went down.
No, it's like I think at one HP, and then I just kind of backed away.
Okay.
Oh, you did the spot.
Backed away, and then it's like, ooh, time to loot.
Time to loot.
So Durrani was the only one that got a level of exhaustion in that.
Multiple.
Did you go down multiple times?
Yeah,
Yep.
twice.
Okay.
My character sheet.
2 levels, alright. So you're a little beat up. But it does
It's
seem
okay.
like everyone
I healed
is dead.
Philia when I got back up. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Give me berries.
Alright.
Give you berries and hit points.
Yeah. So the forest is quiet. It seems like all the mercenaries who ran up have gone down. What does the group want to do? It's
We
about,
should.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
What did I grab? Look at my notes. Hold on.
You grabbed the map with more X's on it.
Yes.
Which I'm not sure if you've shared that with us yet, because everything just kind of happened.
Yeah. Philia gonna go ahead and go towards the guys and talk about, hey, look what I found, look what I found, look what I found.
We should probably close in on the house first and make sure that's clear before we start dealing with anything else.
Fila kind of just shrugs and goes back to looting the bodies.
All right.
I'll start closing in on the house then.
Are you sharing the things you find on these bodies, or are you just kind of keeping them?
After I figure out what I grab, I'll distribute it accordingly.
All right. I think I gave you the gold that they had already, didn't I?
No, you gave Karen the arcane spell book that the tiefling
Oh, the
person.
tiefling, yeah.
Yeah, and Philia, I believe she took the arcane components. The gold she didn't take yet.
Alright, well, the orcs don't have too much gold. Altogether, the hobgoblins and the orcs. Let's see, how much do they have? Apparently they have a lot of gold. They have 25 gold pieces.
Cool.
The hobgoblins, for whatever reason, seem to have a couple of pouches of gold on them.
Okay.
So,
Freshly looted.
yeah, are we doing like a quartermaster situation for the loot, or individuals? Like, who's taking that 25? Like, do you plan to split it, or?
I imagine it individual.
Yeah, that'll be fine, because Phil's just gonna sneak around and put 5 gold in everyone's pocket anyway, but okay.
Alright, so you're splitting it 5 gold. Well, there's 4 of you. So
Oh, it's 4?
I mean, technically there's 6 of you. Because there's... yeah, 2 of the players are absent.
I don't need gold, I just need arrows, so...
We need to buy arrows, though, so you need gold.
I don't need to buy arrows, because these people had longbows and arrows, so I can take this. But I'll do that after making sure we're not going to get shot from a distance from the house.
Okay. So... Just, alright, so you took the 25 gold pieces, Philia? You added it to your sheet? Okay. So you're doing that while that's happening. Duranu and Moonbiter are going towards the house?
I think that we were, so I think right after, like, combat had just ended because we killed the last one that was, like, off the map in the field. So I don't think anything had been decided yet. I think that, like, we ended combat and then we were kind of just like, you know, waiting for the next turn to happen. So I don't think we've planned anything yet. I wouldn't go alone. I would definitely, like, listen to see if anybody else seems to be coming. I think last week you told me the information that, like, we didn't see any other Irontide mercenaries coming. That doesn't mean there isn't more. We just don't know where they are.
Duranu, give me a stealth check at disadvantage because you're wounded.
Yeah, sure. I'm good at those.
Alright. So you're making some noise going towards the house. You don't see anyone over here, luckily. The field's still empty. You can't see those guards that were initially in the front, so you imagine they came over with the others. The area looks clear, at least for the time being.
Okay. Did Moonbiter come up to the house with me, or is he still with the rest of the guys?
If you're going up to the house, then I would go with you.
Yeah.
He's up there with you.
Yeah, it'll be me, Fluffy, and Moonbiter then, and then I'll just be like, are we going in?
I mean, if nothing, I guess I can just do I do a perception check and look around and see if I can hear anything.
Okay. Quentin and Philia are still back with the...
Where are my things? Oh, I see nothing and hear nothing. Yeah, we're going in. Clearly it's empty.
Yeah, with an 11 you don't see anything.
Well, my passive is like 12 at the minute, so that's great. And then, yeah, just straight for the door, I guess.
Alright, are you approaching cautiously? Are you just kind of walking up there?
I think at this point I'm just
Cautiously,
going...
for sure.
I think I'm going full speed, but I'm at half speed at the minute.
Yeah, so my cautious to his full speed, we still get to the same time.
Okay. What about Philia and Quentin? You saw that Moonbiter and Duranu left. What are you doing?
He like kind of looks at Quentin and just like, so is it always the thing you have to do when you kind of act obnoxiously when someone's going through something, or is it just something that you just have to experience yourself?
You there, Quentin?
Quentin, your mic might be off or something because you haven't said anything
Yeah,
since
I'm gonna say
been here.
this is a quiet time with Quentin.
He's coming
Was he been talking the whole time and
right.
just muted or something?
He's like, why is everybody ignoring me? First you won't have sex with me, now you won't talk with me. What the hell?
You hear me now?
Yeah, there you are.
You're coming in low, but I can hear you
Okay.
now.
All right. I don't know why. I have no idea why.
I'll turn you up
But
a little.
yeah. Okay.
All right. So yeah, Quentin, what do you
No,
say?
I heard. Basically, Queen is just gonna look at me and just go, "I'm sorry, what?"
He kind of just sighs and like grabs like a couple things off of the dead corpses and of the tiefling. And I think sometimes you should be aware that not everyone is, how you say, emotionally upfront like you.
I really don't get what we're talking about.
Stop being an asshole.
Yeah, but I don't get what I've done to be one.
He kind of just huffs and heads towards the farm.
Quinta wants to check out the tiefling thing because that whole tiefling thing when it wasn't looked half tiefling and half not. Yeah, remember
Well,
from last.
I think Karen already went through his stuff. Oh, sorry,
No,
their stuff.
not searching. He wants to see if the tiefling thing, because it's a weird tiefling mix. They said last time. He wants to see
Yeah.
if the tiefling is natural or not.
Well, do you have any knowledge of nature or arcana?
I've got proficiency in nature, but it's 2. But I've got medicine, so I was thinking like I don't know, medicine or nature.
You can give me a nature check.
Okay.
So it looks like a natural tiefling. From what you know of tieflings, they don't always have to be human. So this could have just been a hobgoblin with infernal blood.
Okay.
It's just
You'll
they're
follow then.
most
That was
commonly
literally-
human.
That was just what was bugging. So just like, is that legit normal or is it like man-made, like made by wizards in a lab? This kind of thing. So yeah, no, it's good. You'll follow.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, it's natural. You don't know much about creating abominations, so
You're saying tieflings are abominations? Wow, Liz is right there.
I-
Jeez, Raven.
I'm not saying that. I was
No,
just
Raven
wondering
said
what-
it. That's biased.
I said creating abominations in labs. I didn't say tieflings.
Casual racism. Casual racism.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the two of you are heading towards the house.
Yes, Quentin just looks very confused.
All right. So you see that Moonbiter and Durano are already there, approaching the house. Durano, you get to the front door. Still no noise coming from the house or the area. You look around, you just hear like the cicadas chirping in the grass. Probably you would see the wind blowing over the plain area, the trees swaying a bit, all the usual nature feels. Yeah,
Okay.
nothing out of the
Fluffy's,
ordinary.
Fluffy is just going to run into the building full aggro. Anything living in there is going to get bit.
All right, so your beast kind of rushes in, running around. You hear it knocking things over. A big muscular drake, but you don't hear anyone yelling or any like battle going on.
It's clear then. Cool. Don't need to worry about that.
At this point, the rest of your group would probably walk up to the house.
Can Villiers run a roll for perception or no?
Yeah, sure. Give me a perception roll. So, you keep an ear open, listening, looking around, but you don't really see anything in addition to what Duranu's already seen or heard. It just sounds quiet. They all may have come running into that battle. So there might just be no one left.
If I remember rightly, the supplies got brought over to a barn when I first saw the supplies coming to this farm? Or the barn...
Yes. And the barn is off to the side of the house. Now, Ophelia, are you searching around inside the house or just looking around outside?
Oh, she's searching.
You going in?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Ophelia would walk in and kind of start looking around. Yeah, you see the barn a little bit to the east of the house, Duranu.
Out of curiosity, Ophelia, are you still roughed up? Have you been healed at all since everything's gone down?
Duranu gave me, I believe, a berry, and he also gave me hit points with, I guess, was it healing word or healing hands? I forgot, but he did heal me.
I gave you 5 hit points and 10 good berries, so total of 15.
Beautiful.
If you've eaten all the berries, which are bitter and dry as fuck. They are horrible to eat.
Yet make you feel strangely healed.
Yeah. Duranu's good berries aren't good. They're just berries.
The name is a bit of a
misleading.
Misnomer. Yeah. Alright, so Ophelia, you are looking around the house. You see there are several little weapons, I don't want to say caches, but like a couple of shields, swords, maybe some loaded crossbows, bows kind of just laying around the house. You would see there are some sleeping bags set up on the floor in the main room. There's a table kind of in a kitchen area where you see a bunch of papers, scrolls kind of sprawled out on it.
He's gonna go ahead and go towards the paper.
Do you have survival?
I don't know. Let me look at that. No.
Alright, so you're looking at these maps. You can kind of tell they're maps, but they don't make too much sense to you. They seem to be overland maps, like of a much larger area. You do see Chaur and Highguard marked on them, but you don't know much. It looks like there's some coordinates, and you're not sure what those mean.
He will go ahead and neatly put them all in order, so she can give it to Duranu.
Okay. So, anything else that you're doing in here? And actually, are the rest of... I know, Duranu, you said you were going to check out the barn, right?
Yeah.
But what about Moonbiter and Quentin? Are you coming in the house?
Honestly, I would probably... I'm having like this weird kinship with Duranu just because he's a dragon. And so seeing how fucked up he got, excuse my French, last fight, I would probably just stick close to him in the meantime.
Alright, so the two of you went over to the barn. What about Quentin?
He's gonna take a really deep breath, close his eyes, and just be like, "Oh god, this is gonna be horrible," and go into the house farm. Is it a one-story farm or two?
There are 2 stories.
He's gonna go up the stairs if he can, if he sees the steps.
Alright, so Ophelia is searching the first floor. Quentin, you go upstairs. It seems like there are a couple of bedrooms up here. You would notice that the one bedroom looks like there may have been this may have been a children's bedroom, as there are kind of toys just kind of thrown about. Probably was searched as everything's a mess. The larger bedroom, possibly like where the farmer and his wife slept, the bed is covered in blood, old dried blood. There are sheets thrown around, and again, looks like this room was searched.
But the children's beds don't have blood on.
No, just the what you assume is the farmer's bed.
So you know, like when you see the crime scenes in like TV detectives, and you've got the pool of blood, which looks like someone's been stabbed while they're asleep, and you've got the 2 bit that looks like the man and the woman.
Yeah,
Does it look like there's more than 2? Like, as in, like the kids were in this room that got stabbed as well?
So, give me an investigation check.
Yeah. I am shit at that, so let's
See if
do
you
this
can
shit.
figure out. Well, there's definitely some
There
dried
is
blood
blood.
on the bed. And that's about all you get. There's some dried blood on the bed and looks like stuff got thrown around. That's probably what happened here. From your
Is it
5.
very dry? Is it like dry, like proper dry, or is there some bits that kind of are
Oh no,
liquidy?
it's all dry. Like this probably has been like this for several days.
And it's not like the drag marks that you see, like with the blood when they've dragged the bodies, and it's all going down the rooms, down the stairs, out, whatever.
With your investigation and what's your passive perception?
16.
Oh, so with your kind of perception looking around, you do see signs of passage, maybe some drag marks. Nothing super obvious though. Like they probably weren't bleeding as much when they dragged them downstairs.
See, now I'm worried because I want to know where these kids are.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Wait, is this
Right.
the same farm that Karen went to go rescue the farmer and
No,
the wife?
different
No,
farm.
no, this is further
Farm.
down the road.
Okay.
Right, if that's the case, Quentin will run down the stairs and is going to say to Ophelia, I know you're really pissed at me right now, and I don't know why, but can you come upstairs and help me find these kids? Because the mom and dad are dead, and I don't know where the kids are.
Fide kind of just says, make sure she ties up the map and all that kind of stuff, and looks just one more look around before she heads upstairs with Quentin. Not really talking to him, but just kind of acknowledging him as a being.
All right. So cutting over to the barn, Duranu and Moonbiter, you see that the barn door is shut and barred, but you, I assume, just pull the wood off and go in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
simple
would.
as that.
So
Fluffy just growling and straight in.
all right. So inside there is a little bit of a smell. You would see there's what looks like a large pile of hay up against the back of the barn that you can kind of see. Do you have a light source with you?
I don't, but if it's dark, I can light one.
Yeah, it's kind of dark in here. There is some light coming in, but only from a few windows, so the barn itself is kind of dark. I know you can. I think. Well, I don't know. Do either of you have dark vision?
No.
No.
Okay.
Dragonborn and human, so no. I'll light up a torch.
Alright, so the barn lights up a little bit more, and you would see a couple of things. A huge pile of hay. It looks like they just took all the hay in the barn and put it in this one area. There are some markings on it that look like they could be dried blood. There's also a big, looks like pile of supplies. Just like they had just been dragging, like maybe food, wine. Like there's a bunch of barrels. There's crates. There's ropes. Maybe you would guess they took whatever they found in the surrounding farms and just brought a bunch of it here. Maybe as a place to store it for the time being.
Let's go check on the bodies then. Let's go check the hay.
Alright,
Yeah.
so the smell is definitely coming from the hay. And if you examine it, you would find 2 bodies, a man and a woman, that look like they were thrown underneath the hay. Probably been dead for a few days.
Okay. And the pile of supplies is like a pile of supplies. Can I look at it, make sure it's not just like covering a hole or something along those lines, or?
Sure. Give me a perception check if you're searching the supplies.
14.
So there's a bunch of food, a bunch of wine. You don't see anything hidden as far as you can tell. Yeah, because your passive's 12 right now, so 14 would be the roll.
Yeah. Disadvantage. It's fun.
Anything you do in Moonbiter?
No, just keeping an eye out. It's and you may, this could be information that I might have, or like I might do a check to figure out. But like when it comes to these kind of scenarios where like the Iron Tide is, obviously hoarding supplies and stuff like that, is there anything that I would know about them with my experience with them? Like if they would like use put it under floorboards, or if they would like create caches, or would is that just beyond my kind of knowledge?
You could make an intelligence check with proficiency. You might know something actually, because you spent a bunch of time with them.
Nope.
You can't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah.
From what you kind of remember, this does go along with what they do if they attack a large area. They sort of consolidate the things they find that might be of use, and then when they leave, they take them.
Yeah. So I guess if Duranu had already shared the information that like they had been getting supplies and this is the likely place to store them, then I would do what I could to help him look around, like looking under hay, moving stuff around, just being whatever muscle he needs since he's
What
in his weakened state.
What is your perception? Or go ahead, give me a perception check.
Only 11. Yep, 11 again.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of come to the same conclusion. It just looks like there's a normal supply cache here. You don't think there's anything in particular.
Okay.
So if you're interested in the supplies, there's food, drink, ropes, probably some like shovels, pickaxes, like farming tools. Most of the things you could find in the player's handbook for normal items, not like weapons or anything or armors.
I know they're inside, back in the house, which is. Well, I
Okay.
guess I'll head.
Okay. So back to the upstairs. Ophelia and Moonbiter, what are you doing up there?
Philly and Quentin.
Oh yeah, sorry, Ophelia and Quentin.
It kind of just sighs and like, I guess she should probably roll perception or investigation.
Are you in the parents' room or the kids' room?
Kids' room, but that's what Clinton told her to go look at.
So to figure out what happened would be investigation. To like look for something hidden would be perception.
Oop.
Okay, so you're taking a look around. As far as you can tell, there aren't much in the ways of signs of passage in here. You do find some that suggest the children probably ran out of the room at some point. Survival might tell you more.
Oof. Oh boy.
You can tell this room was definitely searched. Everything's kind of thrown about.
Help with the survival look as well.
So, looking at the signs of passage, it looks like the children at one point were hiding in here. And at some point later, they ran downstairs. And if you continue following the tracks, they rush out into the field. They were definitely running when they left the house. They may have been hiding, then sneaking through the house, then running, is what you can make out with the signs of passage you see. You also notice Moonbiter and Duranu coming back towards the house at this point. And they would probably rejoin you.
Quick question.
Just-
Where's the field? Is it right here? Is it like where's it going towards? Are they running towards Chaur? Are they running towards like back here? Are they running towards the river? Where are they going?
Looks like when they ran out of the house, they ran towards the road that goes to Chaur.
Okay, thank you.
And just as this is a mental note a note I'll make now. I won't because I want to do it in case we start leaving. But considering how food and drink seem to be a premium in Char right now because of the siege, I would try to take as much food and drink as I could carry for purposes. But that I wouldn't do until I knew we were leaving. So just to put a pin in that.
Yeah, sure. If you want to figure out how much you can carry, because there is a lot of supplies here. You probably can't carry all of it.
You mentioned.
Karen.
I was going to say, you mentioned weapon caches in the house. Bows and arrows in there at all, or?
Yeah, so if you're looking for arrows, you could probably find some. a quick look. It looks like there are a couple of quivers. Probably say about 50 arrows or so.
50 arrows. Cool. Any longbows?
Well, there were longbows on the hobgoblins you killed.
Yeah, I didn't take them though. That's
Oh.
cool.
There are short bows and crossbows in here. You don't see any longbows. Those are a bit more expensive, so they were probably all being used by the hobgoblins.
Oh, cool. Short bow. I'll take one of them.
Okay.
And then ask the guys, what's the plan?
Time-wise, how long did it take us to get to here from Chaur?
I want to say it was like
It was like
3 or 4 hours, if I remember.
I believe it was a 4-hour journey
Yeah,
because I've made it a couple times.
it's definitely not quick.
Yeah, no. I was thinking I could wild shape into a horse and then carry stuff, but yeah, I haven't got enough. I've got one wild shape.
so like with so once we reconvene, like all of us are outside. Are we? We would tell you about what's in the barn. That's just normal supplies, and then I would ask if did anybody happen to find any paperwork at all in the house or any of the buildings that might have had like orders or some information about a little bit more detail as to why they were here or maybe what to be expected.
Ophelia kind of just pulls out everything that she found, I guess paperwork, and kind of just pushes it off to Moonbiter and Geronimo and go, I don't know what it means, but I think you guys can decipher it.
And so far, the paperwork is just the other map with X's on it.
And also the one that the tiefling person
Yeah, so
had.
the tiefling had one that was kind of small and crude.
So at this
But-
point, Geronimo has like 3 maps.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
one on the table that
Okay.
Ophelia found that looks like it is a more detailed map.
Okay.
I think Moonbiter or Duranu, you could probably interpret this if you want to take a look at it.
I probably could. Could I do it now or in a couple days? Is the question. Yeah, I'll give it a go now. Why not?
All right.
9.
So you're feeling a little woozy. Having a bit of a hard time deciphering some of these coordinates. But it looks like it's marking a main base somewhere out in the plains. That's about a 3-day journey from Chaur. That might be where the majority of the Iron Tide are holed up.
I would try to assist with that because I think
Okay, so you could make a survival check with proficiency if you don't have it, because you would recognize some of the markings from the Iron Tide.
no, just an 11.
So,
Or with proficiency would be. Oh yeah, no, that's
so proficiency is +2 if it's not already on there.
it's already on there. Yeah, we're good. So yeah.
Alright, so yeah, it looks like there is some sort of mine marked by the coordinates that you think, well, you're pretty sure Duranu could easily decipher this once he feels a little bit better, but
Yeah.
you could probably even decipher it if you had to figure out exactly where this is. But it's somewhere over here.
So
Thing here, heading to the city or heading to the forest and resting.
Well, here's a question. So, since, as far as we are aware, the last time this camp got supplies was around noon. So, if it was a steady schedule, then that means it's already come and gone.
Also, no one's done anything strenuous, so you're about half hour into a short rest if anyone was interested in doing a short rest.
Sweet.
I guess that's what I was gonna kind of push for. Is like, are we okay with just like looking around a little bit more, getting a short rest in while we're already here, and then if we're lucky and anybody shows up from the Iron Tide, we can maybe silence any witnesses that might find our deed sooner than later.
Yeah, okay, that's possible.
Mm-hmm. We don't necessarily have to like rest in the house itself, but we could like go back to the forest to where we're like watching the road, and then we can just keep an eye out if anybody else approaches for like the
If
last
we've
half an hour.
yeah, if we've got 30 minutes, there's some shit I can do to bring some supplies with us, get it back to Char.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so you're waiting here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, quick question: are there any animals around, like any birds or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's natural forest, environment. There are birds tweeting. There are birds tweeting outside. There are probably mice running around the field, rats, usual stuff you'd see.
Give me 1 second. I don't know if I need to expend a spell slot for this. Give me a second.
What do you want to do?
Okay, yeah. Felia's gonna go ahead and cast Speak with Animals, and
So, just a warning: if you cast a spell, that is considered a strenuous activity. So that would get rid of your half hour of resting.
that's fine.
Okay, so you cast Speak with Animals. Go ahead and link it. Okay, yeah. So what are you
If she
gonna do?
can find a crow, she will break off a piece of her rations and offer it to him and be like, would you mind looking around our area right quick and seeing if you see any traveling bands of, let's say, not really good-looking fellas?
So you look around outside. There's probably a couple of birds in the area. The crow seems surprised as you speak to it. It looks back at you and will say in bird, food. Give me food.
Felia sighs and get a full ration in exchange for the bird's help.
Alright, it starts happily pecking at the ration. Peck, 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 peck. After a moment, it would eat its fill, which is definitely not the whole ration, and would say, fly, look around, I shall. Ah, and it takes off and flies up in the air.
Felia kind of keeps an eye on it as it glides around, basically.
Okay. Now, the Speak with Animals, was that one of your warlock things?
That, I believe, is, because it's in my... Go back. Spells. Yeah, it's one of my spells. I selected it when leveling up.
Okay. So... the raven flies around a bit. It would come back to you after about 20 minutes or so and say, in the distance, people approaching.
Felia will say, do they look like us, or do they look a lot more different?
In the distance, people approaching.
Felia kind of
And
sighs
it kind of
offers.
points to the west. So they would be coming from kind of down the road more. You
So, like,
believe.
right here?
Yeah, I mean that's like several days away, but generally like
Right here.
away from the town, coming towards where you are.
Oh, from the town.
Not from the town, away from the
Oh.
town. So like on your west, coming down the road towards where you are is what you think the bird's trying to tell you.
Okay. Felia offers up another part of, I guess, the forgotten ration and just kind of puts a little crumb form for it so it can carry it off to its, I guess, nest.
I'm full.
Take it or leave it.
Full. And it just kind of pecks it a few more times and flies away.
Felia turns to the group and goes, so we might be having company in a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be that close by, but give maybe an hour or so.
Hour or so. How certain of that are we?
I mean, the bird. Were you all there for that? Like, just waiting around?
Well, I'm assuming she's talking to the bird in front of us.
All
I
right.
Yeah,
would have.
but I don't think they can understand what me and the bird were talking about, though. Such as
Yeah.
Phileas talking
So
smack, you know?
you. I mean, you didn't hear what the bird said. It just kind of squawked out her a bunch and then flew away. It's hard to know how well a bird can judge distance. So, yeah. It just said they were
Well,
coming this way.
If Ophelia says we've got an hour, then we've got an hour. Can I check the supplies to see if there's any like form of saddlebags in there?
Yeah, there'd probably be some saddlebags and saddles and other things.
Cool. Can I chuck saddlebags on Fluffy and start loading him up with supplies then? Because he's stronger than me.
Well, I think you need. I'm not sure if a horse harness would fit him.
Yeah, he's small. It probably wouldn't fit. It'd probably need adjusting.
So, do you know how much he can carry?
I always forget the encumbrance rules. He's got a strength of 16.
It's 15 times your strength score.
So, a lot.
Alright, were you saying something, Moonbiter?
I was gonna ask if so are we? If I see you start like saddling him up and trying to adjust those straps, I would ask: Are we going to deal with the people coming this way, or are we just gonna book it and let them find the camp looted?
Oh, we've got an hour, which is plenty of time just to stuff some saddlebags full of food. He can carry like 240 pounds.
That won't mess with him in the middle of the fight.
Oh, it probably would. Yeah, but I don't plan on fighting.
So,
And if we do need
in
to
a
fight,
roundabout way, you're answering my question saying the plan is for us to load up and leave, not stay and fight.
well, yeah, if we do need to stay up and fight, he's in no shape to fight until we get a short rest, and he can spend hit dice. So if we do get into a fight, he's getting resummoned anyway, which will make him lose the saddlebags. So, if we've got an hour, we can finish
Out
the
of
short rest and
curiosity,
then
will that interrupt if we start loading up Fluffy? Will that interrupt our current short rest that we're about to finish, or does it not count as strenuous activity?
Loading up the saddlebags? No, that's not really strenuous.
Okay.
Also, just FYI, Ophelia, I don't know if your magic is correct, because you have a lot of spells for a warlock. Usually warlocks only have like 3 or 4 spells, so I might...
Well, I have, whatchamacallit, Pack of the Tome for the cantrips, but for the spells, I selected those because I said that I can replace a couple spells when I was leveling up on the Roll20, but I can reset everything if you prefer.
I can look through it later. I just noticed that you have more like a wizard spell setup. And I know you only get 2 spell slots, I think, like level 2, that you can use to cast. And the others are just going to be your cantrips. I can look into it more later. I just noticed that.
Okay.
But anyway.
You packed of the tome, you can have quite a few.
Yeah, I know. Don't you get them as like rituals or something? You get a bunch of rituals? Yeah, so I know you get a bunch of extra rituals. I just noticed that a bunch of the spells there were not rituals. So there might have been some confusion, but like I said, we can look into it. Alright, so the group is going to try to get some supplies together and then try to ambush someone. Is that the idea?
No, I think we're probably just packing up food and supplies to head back to Chaur.
Okay.
Or at least get into the forest.
I was like, Quinton's going to wild shape into a dire wolf and head to the direction the Crow had said, but staying in the field or forest to try and hear or smell them to know when they're coming.
Alright. Can you do flying creatures at this level?
No, dire wolf.
Oh, dire wolf. Okay. You said crow. All right.
No, I'm heading in the direction of the crow pointed, but yeah,
All
no.
right. So you're gonna try to sneak through the woods as a direwolf. Okay.
Sneak, kind of saunter. Like I'm not trying to be entirely stealthy. I'm just trying to more listen out for them when they get close.
Okay. How far away from the house are you getting?
So how close to the road is fields or forest?
The path runs. It's probably about 50 feet from the house. There's like a little path that probably the farmer built going from the main road up to the house. But the main road is kind of in disrepair. There is a bunch of forest and trees near the road, so you could try to sneak along it if you wanted to.
I'd go through the forests, but yeah, I'd go through the forest, listening out or trying to smell if the wind's blowing in the right direction to try and pick up a scent or something to roughly figure out when they're close.
Okay. So you're moving through the brush away from the house, and the rest of you are getting supplies. So you see up ahead, because let's see, what time is it? It's getting close to 4 o'clock. Those of you back at the house could spend a short rest if you wanted to. And I guess Quentin, you could too. Everyone except Philia.
Okay.
Let's spend hit dice.
Yep, spend hit dice. Remember, you only have 2 of those a day, but if you spend one, you can get hit dice and any other resources your class would give you.
Yeah. The hit dice thing isn't loading. Cool.
I saw
Oh
your
no,
hit dice
it
rolls.
did roll. Okay, I only wanted to roll 2. I was clicking it, expecting the little window to come up that says how many.
I think you have to click short rest to get that. The short rest
Oh, you
button.
sure us to get that? Okay.
Yeah, there's a short rest button you can click. Also, you can set it so your resources recharge on the short rest if you use that cog. I don't know if you've done that yet.
Yeah, stuff's still not coming up. Okay, that doesn't matter. Whatever.
Quentin, as you're sneaking through the brush, you do see some figures coming down the road. They're not actually that far from the house. It's definitely less than an hour.
Can I don't know, hearing or smell and figure out if they're human or not, or orc or hobgoblin, because I've smelt them.
Give me a... Well, first of all, you're going to try a stealth?
Not entirely stealth stuff, just yeah, let's try stealth. Alright, fine.
I
I'm not
don't want
entirely
to
trying to
stealth, but I will.
I'm not entirely trying to stealth, but it's one of those things that I don't want to be seen, but I'm not trying to sneak. I'm trying to you know when you walk through the woods and you see a wolf, and you're just like, oh shit, there's a wolf, but no one goes towards it. I'm trying to do that thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, although usually, hunters and stuff might go towards a wolf.
Okay, right, okay, so the direwolf doesn't technically have stealth, so it's just dex, isn't
Dex,
it?
yeah. Yeah, it would be dex. Okay, are you proficient in stealth?
Me, no.
Okay. So you think you're pretty well hidden. Now give me a perception check.
Okay, and I get and perception is I'm proficient in perception, so I use the wolves for add 6. Okay, so perception is wisdom. Okay, so that's
So you would
That's
use actually for the mental attributes you use your perception, not the rolls.
okay.
Perception, int, and charisma you use your rolls.
Woo!
Okay, so you think you smell 5 individuals. You would guess that 3 of them are orc and 2 of them are hobgoblins.
Minute I smell that, I'm running back to the farm to howl or whatever to tell them to run.
Okay, so you're gonna jump out of your hiding place and just run?
But run through the trees, not on the road, or make my head back ahead of them, trying to.
Alright, so they probably notice you. It doesn't look like they're chasing you, though.
Right, then I'm running.
A few minutes later, you all would see Quentin come running back into the area.
We see a big black dire wolf, which I'm assuming you all knows me.
Yeah, they saw you transform when you left.
Gotta have it dire wolves around here.
No, well, there are some dire wolves in the forest, but they are definitely not common. They're kind of a rarity. So you run back in. Everyone's sort of loading up on supplies. What are you doing?
I'm gonna barkish howl, point to the way the raven said, and point the other way and start heading that way to Char.
You're just leaving.
Well, not running off from them, but trying to be like, "Come on, we need to go." But I'm not turning back because I'm not waiting a shift.
All right. What do you all want to do?
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Let's leave.
All right. So you take the things you have already and depart.
Yeah.
All right. So the group is heading out. How are you moving? Through the woods or on the road?
The forest would probably be best. Also, it's like an 8-hour journey back for us now. Kind of forgot to mention that.
Yeah, because the half speed for you.
Mm-hmm. So if we want to be quiet at all, the forest is the only option.
I mean, if it's already what? It's like 4 o'clock right now. So if we think that if we move, do you think that it would be worth it to move cautiously away so that way we could maybe not leave a trail, and then if we don't reach Char, we can just camp out in the woods?
Honestly, the best option is for all of you just to leave and for me to stealth.
I
can move
You're
it.
too jacked up for that.
I can move at normal pace through woods if I'm alone. So I would be at normal pace, which is still half pace, but I would be stealth moving through the woods. I've got Fluffy here. I've spent hit dice. It is probably the best option. Otherwise, I'm just going to be slowing you guys down and then not getting any bonuses myself that would help me. So
yeah, but I
at
also
this
don't
point,
see the point in splitting up. Like it's not like we got to get back to town or else the world explodes. Like at this point, if anything bad happens to you, because you're already jacked up, it doesn't make sense to really leave you. Like mechanically, it sounds nice, but like as the RP, I just doesn't make sense to say, "Oh, you're messed up." Okay, later, dude.
As I'm gonna say, like, we're having this conversation as we're walking because
Yes.
I'm not standing
You
at the
said,
Yeah.
farm.
you said you were going through the trees, so I assume everyone's walking through the forest right now.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Yeah.
say it just in case because I had a really bad image that they're all. You're all
Yeah, we're
standing
just
there
talking on the
standing
road,
up.
and the orcs
No,
and
that-
hobgoblins like, let us give our opinion too. Like, yeah, come on, tell us how you think about this.
no, that's a good clarification because I also assumed we were walking and talking, but
Yeah.
Those
realistically-
DMs, they'll get you. If you're not.
realistically, I'm hobbling behind you guys and I'm slowing you guys down. If
Just as
Assuming-
go ahead.
I was assuming you're hobbling not because of Fluffy, because of you. Quinton in a direwolf form is gonna like walk up to you and like offer for you to get on his back.
direwolf
Mount me
speaks,
quickly.
I can speak with direwolves, right? Yeah, I can cast this once a day. Let's just speak with animals. What's up?
Do you? Hang on. Do you want to lift? I've
Do
got to
you
get
want
the
to hit
voice,
on me?
all right. Do you
Right on my back.
Do you want to? Hang on, hang on. Because part of me is just like, do you want to ride?
Wink.
Oh, now you made it weird.
Normally, I ask for lunch first, but yeah, let's go.
All right, he gets on my back.
Marcellinus
I-
says, Duranu, I know you are used to being alone in the woods, but you have friends now. There's no reason we should leave you. In the event you are ambushed, it's best to have people with you.
Just look at him and just be like, be careful with that word. It can be extremely powerful.
What, ambushed?
No,
Friends?
friends.
Oh, fair enough, but I think we've been through a lot, and I would consider all of you friends.
Well, I've seen plenty of strange magics done with just a word.
Alright, what, yeah, he's a paladin. That sounds something like something he'd say.
Yeah.
So
By
give
the
me,
light.
by the light. Give me survival checks to navigate the woods. Let's see how quickly you can do this.
Navigate.
I won't get lost, but I'll help. I won't help. 2 people already rolled.
Yeah,
but-
you can't get lost, but you could find paths that
You're just
take you through
pointing
quicker.
from Quentin, just like that direction. All right, that's it.
Yeah,
That's all
no,
I got.
people have already rolled, so just ignore me.
I've got this really bad idea that he's on the back of a dire wolf just going, that way! Go! Forward! And I'm just like, really?
Quentin's
Yeah.
like, nope, and he just goes the other way.
He does, yeah, you know.
This mount isn't listening to anything I'm saying.
Also,
there's more
I will
training.
get him off my back in less than an hour because I only have an hour for my dire wolf form and I don't want to transform and he's on my back.
Alright, so Quentin's finding some good paths through the woods. Flat ground helps you move quicker, which is definitely cutting down on the time. Yeah, after about an hour, you would transform back. But you made pretty good time, and the group takes about 5 hours to get to Chaur, even with your allies slowed. So it is about 8:30 when you arrive. The people at the gate, the guards there, would recognize you and say, the hero's return. Come in, come in. And they would quickly open the gates and kind of just motion for you all to come through. What did you find? Was your venture successful?
Pat Fluffy on the back, and he's just full of supplies and booze, and we're just like, yes, very successful, actually.
Excellent.
On that point.
So,
On that point,
yeah.
the supplies, I would like to take like 4 bottles of wine and then go find the family that we rescued from the other farm.
Last you saw, they were at the barracks.
That's where I check for them then.
Okay. So you go to the barracks. There's some guards there. It's getting late. Most of the guards have gone home, but there are some doing the night shift. They would recognize you. He would ask you, what's your business at the barracks, Duranu?
I was looking for those from the farm.
Oh, the refugees? I believe that they were staying at the Palor Shrine, along with some of the others who were disposed. What was it? Disposed?
Displaced.
Displaced, right, thank you. Most of them are at the Palor Shrine across town.
Cool, makes sense. Do any of the rest of the party want anything from the supplies before I just go dump them on people?
Nah.
So the guard would say, if you have extra supplies that you want to donate, I could take them from you. And we could...
No. They're going to the people. It's fine, don't worry about it. Go back to work.
He says, oh, well, we would give them to the people. We just distribute them.
Yeah, but do guarding stuff.
He says I wouldn't take them, but I mean the barracks could take them from you. But however you wish to do it. All right. So what are you all doing?
Quentin's going to go and ask one of the guards if they found 2 children on the road recently.
He says we've had refugees come in to the town over the last few days. I don't remember any children.
Oh,
What children are these, Quentin? Because you've not mentioned it to me yet.
Oh, those were the children from the farm we were at, and I assumed they'd headed to Chaur because that's the direction they were heading. In fact, we'd have gone past them coming through the trees to Chaur.
But it
wouldn't we?
depends when they leave. I'm heading to the shrine where the rest of the refugees are. If they're there, great. If they're not, I'll head out tomorrow and go look for them.
Alright, so...
Now
yeah.
Quentin feels guilty, he never mentioned it before, so he's going to go with Daranu now.
So you could go to the shrine. You would see a bunch of tents set up there, mostly on the inside. It looks like also, if you speak to the priest, that one of the farm or one of the houses nearby has offered to take in some of them as just live under a roof for now. So there's a bunch of refugees there.
Cool. I'll specifically look for the family that was saved and then the children.
All right. So you look around. Yeah, sure. I'll say you can find them. They're with them there.
Ah, brilliant. Don't need to worry about the kids. And then I'll just dump the supplies on them. Minus anything the party wants to take from the supplies.
You're gonna give this one family all the supplies.
Yeah.
All right. They are very thankful. They will probably hand out some of them to the other refugees. But yeah, they would thank you for that.
Well, I assume they'd either share or make a bit of money off them.
Okay. Is anyone else doing anything for today?
Billy already went ahead and told the gate guards about the incoming group of people from where we were at the farm.
All right.
Besides that, not really much anything else.
He nods. He says, "Well, if anyone comes around looking for trouble, we'll be ready. We've kept them back so far, but thank you for the warning."
Duranu, like after everything's said and done with the with you giving out the supplies, I would say, Duranu, do you have a second?
I've got more than a few seconds, yeah. Plan on heading to the tavern and finish these bottles.
Would you mind if I borrowed those 2 new maps we just got? I want to go check out a source real quick, and then I'll bring them back and give them back to you so you can check them out tomorrow when
There's
you're
a bottle
feeling
with your
better.
name on it, so hurry back.
Okay. So I would take the 2 new maps we got, the one off the Tiefling and the one in the house, and I'm gonna go visit my 2 best friends in jail.
Okay. The kid's name was Danny. That's right.
Wait, isn't Danny the one from the previous?
Yeah, Danny's the one from the farm Karen broke into to save the family, and then there's the 2 kids from the farm we were just at.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Danny was the one from the previous farm.
I'm almost like, wait, what? I'm just like, what?
That's the one you rescued.
Oh no, the children are Irontide too. They're just everywhere.
Everyone called their kid Danny.
No, your group hadn't found the children from this farm that you were just at. You just assumed they escaped.
So they weren't at the temple. Sorry, I misunderstood that. Okay,
No.
I'll
Well,
go out.
you would have no idea who those kids were. The only family you knew of was the one that you had saved from the previous farm.
Cool. Then let's go through the tents and just be like, I'm looking for kids from this farm.
I was going to ask the priest if any 2 kids without parents or saying their parents have been killed have turned up.
For that, I would need some persuasion checks.
One then.
We're looking for orphans. You got any?
I'll help.
You could probably use investigation as well.
No, I think I'll go with my persuasion.
I'll do this. Oh, I was going to assist in using inspiration, so I'll still do so. I've got blood all over me. I'm not looking great. No one wants to tell me where the kids are.
I love the idea of Duranu's the one speaking like bloody and this dragon, but they were just like, and then just Quinton pops up to her and goes, "Yes, please, we really want to help them."
So does Quinton not have any charisma? I thought he had charisma for some reason.
Nope. No, I'm 11.
Alright, well, you ask around. Did you know the name of that farm? I don't think he did.
I don't. Duranu might.
So I guess you just kind of describe where it is, describe like the area. One of the people...
I'll point to it on the map and see if that helps.
That's right. You had kind of a local map, so you take out the crude map and you're asking. Most people don't know. However, one lady says, "Yes, I actually know of that farm. I live down the road from them. I haven't seen them since the siege. Them or their children. I don't think they're in the camp here."
Okay. Sleep, find children. That's cool. No, alcohol, sleep, find children. Bro.
All right, so you're going to drink. Quentin, what did you? Sorry, Moonbiter. Where did you say you were going?
I was gonna go visit my best friends in prison
Right.
with the 2 maps from Dorano to see if I can get any additional information from them.
Okay. So they're closing up the prisons for the evening. They say you'd have to come back tomorrow
Okay.
because most of the guards have gone home and they don't have people to watch you.
Everybody wants to watch. God. Nah, it's all good. Then I'll do that tomorrow then.
Okay. Anyone doing anything else today, or should I just pass the day?
No, we're just gonna go ahead and go back to the inn and go up to the room and just relax.
Okay, so it's evening time. There's the usual drinking and celebrating. Some of you are kind of relaxing in the bar. Do you want to do any RP or, again, just pass it?
Oh, I'm gonna like shout up to Ophelia and make sure the whole party's there, and then just
you could check on her. She's in her room.
and just be like, 4 bottles of wine. Don't make me drink them all by myself.
Hila kind of just peeks out the door and just like sighs and begrudgingly just comes back downstairs.
All right, so there's a little bit of partying from the wine that you got. Are you joining them, Moonbiter and Quentin?
Oh yeah, free booze? Hell yeah. What do you mean?
All right, so
Quentin?
yeah.
Quentin's gonna Well, Quentin doesn't drink for a start, so that's the thing. And knowing Ophelia's pissed at him, and Karen's still annoyed at him, and God knows who else is annoyed at him because he thinks Durano's annoyed at him for not mentioning the kids. Quentin's gonna kind of like try and not sneak off, but just like, yeah, no, I'm not getting involved. I keep getting moaned at.
So is he just going to bed?
Yeah.
Alright, so during the evening while you all are drinking and hanging out, as usual, there are several of the town people there talking and seeing how the heroes of Chaur are doing. But later on, Neil would actually come over to the table and say, good evening, friends.
Just look at him.
Just kind of sits down next to you all smiling.
I'll just telepathically into his head. What do you want?
He would look at you, then look at everyone else and say, I was just curious how your work was going. Sithra wanted me to check in. Have you been able to find out anything about the, he whispers, the Iron Tide, or where their base is, or any information?
We are drinking. We are covered in blood. That is not tonight. Go.
I mean, you're covered in blood. And I just keep drinking.
Yeah, he just kind of looks at everyone else and says, alright, well, I can just drink if people don't want to talk. And he kind of motions to the bartender or to the barmaid to bring him an ale. I assume it's okay if I sit with you?
Hila kind of just nods and just keeps hugging at her drink.
Durano's just gonna growl. Like, just draconic growl. Just like,
Neil just gives you a bit of a cheeky smile and downs his ale. And
I'll,
we'll just hang out if no one's going to tell him to leave.
When you growl Durano and Draconic, I turn to you and say, let's at least get the full payment from them, and then we can snub them.
look at you and just in your head, and she's like, I want to shout at him really bad.
I'll smile and I'll just say, after payment, go ahead. It's your town, not mine. And on that note, I'll bust my, I'll get my, my drums out, and I'll go over to where I've normally been performing, in the inn, and, just go and start singing and riling people up.
As you walk off, you will hear in your head, this certainly isn't my town.
Obviously, you get nothing back because I can't telepathically talk to you.
No, you can't. I just say things into people's heads, and then I'm just gonna.
Invade their psyche.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's drinking, there's some relaxation. Neil is mostly just hanging out. After it gets a bit later, he would bid you all good eve and take off. And I assume everyone goes to bed.
Yep.
After
So,
Ophelia goes ahead and gives out the gold pieces.
oh, okay. So,
Oh, I don't need that. That's fine.
oh, well, that
Felix
makes
kind of just pushes it on him and just looks at him mean mugging, basically. Like,
so there were 25 gold pieces divided by 6 of you.
there's some change. It's like 4.16. I'm just like, I don't know what
To
all
everyone
that.
else makes more sense.
So if you just give 4 gold pieces to everyone, and just maybe keep the gold piece for yourself, the extra one or something.
No, she'll probably tip it towards the barmaid.
Okay, so you just give someone a really big tip. And the barmaid is very happy, comes over and gives you a big hug. Thanks, hun.
She just kind of pats her back and just goes, uh-huh.
Like, all right. So yeah, you each get 4 gold pieces from Ophelia. And with that, I assume you go to bed. So you would have to spend whatever upkeep you're doing,
Okay.
which would be 1 gold piece if you're doing the commoner upkeep, like the medium one.
And then we can do long rest, or
Yeah, so the evening would pass. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
was anyone doing over modest lifestyle?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I am as well.
Okay, well here's the chart. Remember to record what you're doing if
Got it.
Yeah.
No, Richard. I'm not spending silver.
you're just sleeping out in the woods again.
Yeah.
4 shiny 3, yeah.
Okay. Give me a d20 roll.
Does that count as an ability check?
No, this is just to see. Basically, it's like a random encounter. I mean, you're in town, so there's low chance of danger, but there's a chance. Okay, so yeah, you just sleep in the woods. The evening would pass, so it's now the 90th of summer. As it's starting to get a little cold out as you head into autumn. This is almost the last day of summer.
90th of summer, you said?
Yeah, 90th of summer is today. 7 a.m. You wake up in the morning. Lovely sunrise. A bit of a chill on the air as autumn is approaching. What does the group want to do?
Now I'll go to the prison and do what I wanted to do last night. After, I assume we get up and we all meet in the inn and we're having breakfast and we have a
I
powwow.
would think that we would probably go to the private room, right, and discuss everything we found out, since we have information about where these people are, right?
Yeah, so multiple of you are living over the normal lifestyle, so yeah, that would be available to you, your private bar room.
Mm-hmm. We don't have any information yet, right? We have a good guess at where it might be, but we so far failed our survival checks, to know for sure.
So you know the area it's in, but you're not sure the exact location. You would guess you could find it. It just might take some time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you're able to get more information from the map.
Yeah, like if someone made a
provide us.
better survival check or someone has something map related in their background, you could probably get more info. Or you showed it to some scout. Basically be a survival check.
Okay. My intention and my plan of action: head back to that farm, find the children who we don't know the location of, get them back to town, get them safe, and then do some scouting on this new location that we found.
Do you think they're still alive? That would be
Do we know? Yeah, I mean, even I would say that. I was do we know how long it's been since those tracks were made?
I mean, a bunch of kids in the woods for several days? I don't know.
Same
Yep.
time, the parents' body. I'm assuming that Geronimo and Mumbar told Quentin and Philia about the bodies of the farmer and his wife in the hay, right?
Yeah.
So, looking at that, maybe the kids have already passed on.
Yeah, from what
Well,
you had told us, it sounds like they hid in the room, then maybe ran out when they thought it was safe. But I don't know if they'd still be alive.
hell, who knows if us attacking the place made them think it was safe to run, or if they tried to run 2 days ago and their bodies are lying in the woods. We don't know. We find the bodies in the wood, they're dead, we can bury them. If they're not, then we can bring them back. I'm not asking any of you to join me, but it's something that needs to be done.
How long are we going to dedicate to this? If we go out today and we lose the trail, how long are we going to be out there?
24 hours. I'll either be back tomorrow with them, or I'll be back tomorrow without them.
Out of curiosity, because last night, before our last interaction, you said that this wasn't your town. So in character, I would say, you've been here longer than us. Do you know of any landmarks outside town that maybe the locals or kids would know about? Any either ruins or any other like abandoned cabins that maybe, people around here would be aware of, and that might be a place that the kids would have ran to instead of just blindly into the forest?
DM? Would I-
I mean, you've lived in the town a little bit. You don't know about outside in the farmlands. You haven't been
Yeah.
over there much.
I would have lived in the forest before I lived in the town. Like, only the attack would have driven me to the town. But no, I wouldn't. No, I don't know of any location they could be hiding. I do know if I go back to the forest and start trying to find them down that road, I've got a very good fucking chance of knowing if they've passed through or not.
She says, "Are you? Do you think you're healthy enough to do that? You still seem a bit wounded."
I'm not actively bleeding.
She says, "No, not bleeding. You just seem tired, like you're still recovering from your wounds from yesterday."
Nothing that's an issue.
She shrugs. Well, I think it's Marcellinus would say. Says alignment, yeah. Says, I think that is a noble endeavor. I believe we should join our friend here and help figure out what's happened to these children. He says we have a duty to use what abilities we can to help these people in their time of despair.
I wish Marcellinus was here saying this, because then I'd be like, even the crooks, but that's a whole nother RP, so I'm not even gonna say it. What I would say is, like looking around, and I'm gonna gauge like Quentin and Philia, like what are your reactions?
Well, no one would say, I think we should just we should just get our money first.
Even think we went over that yet, because Geronimo wants to go out and scout, yeah?
I would prefer to actually give them some useful information rather than just the maps. But if we want to give them the maps, that's fair.
Quentin's gonna
if
walk
you-
over.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna say Quentin's gonna walk over to the window and expend one of his wild shapes to summon Familiar, and he's gonna summon a kind of like a fae thing, like a barn owl.
Quentin's a
And
Disney
he's gonna-
princess. Just puts
I
his
know,
finger
right?
out and like an owl comes falling down.
It's just that Snow White thing,
Yeah,
just a voice.
exactly. That's what I thought in my head when you're like, Quentin walks to the window and just like throws his hair back, like puts his finger out and a little bird flies down.
runs his hand through his hair like with his quick thing, and then just yeah.
Starts singing.
Like, yeah, he's going to expend a wild shape to conjure a find familiar, which it's a fae. It's not a beast, it's a fae type thing, but it's like an owl. and he's
Yeah.
going to get the owl to head towards the barn and see if he can see anything, like doing checks and stuff to see if he can see the kids. Because I'm guessing it's quicker flying than walking.
Oh yeah. So you're gonna send the owl over to kind of the farm area to look for the kids.
Yeah.
All right. How long do you want to search for? It lasts for what, an hour?
It'll only last for an hour because it expends the wild shape. So yeah. So
Yeah.
That.
All right. So yeah, I'll say it flies over that way.
Dude, now are you telling us this, or do you just go and pose and then we're like, okay, guess we're going to the farm?
I do the owl thing first. I conjure I summon the owl, and the owl flies off. I haven't gone anywhere. I'm still there. It's just the owl's gone. So don't
Okay.
even anyone else.
5 minutes and then just like, what was that now? Just not going to explain it, or
I want to see a roll if Fluffy just sees the owl, goes by, and like a cat pounces on it and eats it.
Fluffy's not a cat. Fluffy's a dragon.
Fluffy is
Dragons,
very well
cats,
behaved.
they're very curious.
Fluffy will stand to go for the owl, and then it will just like I'll just whistle and he'll sit back down.
I don't know if Quinlan's just gonna go. Well, instead of you going and maybe getting hurt, I thought the owl would be better because it can fly and it can see and then come back and tell me if it sees living or dead children, as opposed to you being gone for a whole day.
How long does that last?
The owl lasts for an hour.
I lasted a lot longer than that.
Yes, but I'm assuming flying's faster than walking.
Well, this is perfect because before we ran away, I did want to take care of some business since last night we got into town too late to do what I wanted to do. So when will you get the information? In about an hour, you'll have an idea from what the owl will be able to see.
I don't know because I've never used this now. I don't know how it works. So give me a moment.
I think. Well, I think it's an hour, but the time might be based on.
That one lasts an hour for me because it's the whole thing I can use for my wild shape.
Yeah, which I believe is your druid level rounded down, right?
Yeah.
Or half your druid level rounded down.
Yeah, it's my druid. Yeah, so I can do it only for an hour at the minute. So.
Okay.
Find Familiar is like really limited in range in which you can communicate. So if it gets an hour out, it's not going to be able to talk to you for like 99 minutes of that.
Yeah, it can still go, but it would have to bring you back the information.
That's kind of what I was gathering it was going to do.
Can it? So it was a 4-hour journey for us walking. So will it? I mean, realistically, will it get there in 30 minutes and then come back in 30 minutes and give us all information we need?
But I don't know how far the kids got there. That's the thing, because the kids could have got very close to town, or they could have, I don't know, died on the way or whatever. So I'm getting the else to have a look. So I'm assuming flying is faster than walking because you don't have difficult terrain.
Just getting as much information as you can.
Yeah.
Well,
because then at least it's stuff I can tell him.
With me, through the forest, we walk at normal speed. The owl is twice as fast as us, as it is, so it's a 2-hour journey plus it's flying, so...
Well, you walk at normal speed, but you also have to account for, like, going around things and, like,
Yeah.
There's more navigating, whereas flying, it's just like a straight line. So...
No, my point is, like, it's a 2-hour journey, it following our route exactly, but it is flying, so I don't know if that alters the
I guess
time
that's the
or just
question
halves
is
it.
also like it has to get back in range to tell us anything, right? So so from what I understand, because this is magic, it can make the 4-hour journey in less time, get the information, and then also get back in range to tell us what it found in an hour's time. I mean, that's the only confusion I have about like how this is working. Out of character, of course.
So Marcellinus, as you're all talking, would say, well, let him send it out for now. Moonbiter, you said you had or you needed to do something, yes?
Yeah, I mean, if I have time to do it.
What are you going to, or what did you need to do?
I'm going to go to the prison and take these maps and see if I can get any information from my 2 compatriots over there.
All right, so why don't we see what the owl can find out, and let you do what you're doing, and then we can head out. He looks to Duranu and shrugs, and he says, "Will that work for you?"
Yeah, that's fine.
As I said, I believe we should probably stay together. We don't know what dangers could be in the area. At this point, the Iron Tide could be hunting us, so I don't want anyone to get caught unaware. They definitely know we've been disrupting them. At least I would assume they do. Alright,
Most likely.
so let's see. Moonbiter is going to the barracks while the rest of you wait here.
I'll head to the barracks if he wants company.
Okay.
It's up to you. Everybody's free to join me. Oh, go ahead, Liz.
Oh no, just saying that Felia's going to the marketplace. That's it.
Okay. So Ophelia heads off to the market, and I guess that only leaves Quentin. What are you doing?
Honestly, no idea because I don't know what Quinton would act. Quinton's kind of like, well, no, because Felia's annoyed at him, and he doesn't want to go with Moonbiter because you've already got Duranu, and he doesn't want to be like third wheeling extra person. So he doesn't. I don't actually know what he'd do. So yeah,
Maybe he's just hanging out here for now.
I just say he's wandering around town, just going to the Pelo Shrine or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, he's just chilling.
Okay. So Ophelia, are you just buying some supplies at the marketplace?
Yes.
Alright, so you could buy anything from the book at book price. Moonbiter and Duranu, you go to the prison. The guards would let you in. They would escort you to the area where the people are being held. One of them would say, I believe the governor was looking to, or the mayor was looking to speak with you, Moonbiter. You said you had wanted to talk to her?
Oh yeah, I thought that would have been harder than ever to talk to the mayor of the town, but maybe being a hero and all.
Well,
expedite
she is excited to meet your group with all that you've done for the town. She said that she was sorry she hadn't met you up till now, but she's been very busy with all that's been going on. I think she's in her office if you have time to speak with her.
And that would be not here at the barracks, I assume.
Oh no, it's at the barracks. It's
Oh, it
just
is?
down the
Okay.
hall here.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
You
Yeah,
want to go
no.
meet her and I'll get started?
No, I want to go see how my two boys are doing. Like, she's there. This won't take too long. And if they're able to give us any more information about these maps, and that's more information we can use for our own goals. So, like you said, knowing a little bit more before we start meeting everybody is a good plan.
Fair.
So yeah, so I'll thank the guard for information and tell him that as soon as I'm done visiting the prisoners, that I'll head there directly. That shouldn't take too long.
Alright, so you go to see the prisoners.
Yep. And Olzek and what is it? Arg are being kept separately, correct?
Yeah.
So I would go to Olzek first, since we've known each other longer.
Alright.
Did they let me bring Fluffy in?
They would probably ask that you leave him outside.
I will tell them no.
They say, come on, Duranu, don't cause trouble. Just leave your pet outside. It's not that big a deal.
He's
No,
not a pet.
Give me a persuasion check.
I mean, Duranu just magically put a service vest on him, and there we go. They have to let him in.
What was that? 16.
They seem a bit exasperated. He says, if you really have to take him, but,
He's an extension of myself. He is part of me.
I don't know what that means, man. Just bring it in if you have to.
It's a seeing eye dragon. Come on, let him do its thing.
God.
And they just, kind of shrug and say, just don't cause any trouble. Alright. So you go to talk to your friend in the prison. What are you going to say to him?
I'll just get around and see him, and I'll be like, Olzek, how have they been treating you? Are they feeding you okay?
Says, not really, but, I'm surviving.
Yeah, you're still alive, so that's a plus, right?
This is for now. Am I going to be executed, or did you convince them not to kill me?
I'm working on it still. I'm not sure, and I haven't seen him since Arg also got in prison. So I'd say our friend Arg. Do you happen to know him? We met him on the road too, and he's currently somewhere in the prison as well.
No, I can't say I know who Arg is. But there's a lot of soldiers in the company I don't know. He's probably in a different unit.
Mm-hmm. I would, well, we're on the way now to talk to the mayor, specifically about you and Arg, because I do wish to use both of you to settle the differences that we talked about before. But I had a question, and any information you have could be helpful for your case and mine. And I'll turn to Jiranu and ask for the maps, and then if he gives them to me, I'll just put them there in front, Twanichi's hand, just lay it out and just show them to Olzek and see if there's any information he can give me.
What's your passive insight?
So it's 8. Is it 8 or 10?
It's 10 plus your mod.
Yeah.
Okay, so 9 because I'm a -1 insight.
All right.
Yeah. Mine's currently 10.
So he would look at the map and he says, "Yeah, I might be able to give you some information if you get me out of here."
Just as he's doing this, is there like a work surface or anything in here?
I mean, he's in a cage, so you're not really in the cage with him. You're outside the cage.
Okay. At this point, I'm just taking out arrows and my dagger and my hand axe. I'm just going to look at him and just be like, well, if you don't provide useful information, it's not going to be great for you.
He, give me a intimidation check.
Look at Fluffy, look back at him and just be like, he's getting rather hungry. 8.
He just rolls his eyes. He says, "What are you gonna do? Attack me through the bars? You're not gonna kill me in prison, friend. I'm
gonna soften.
They want to hang me. I don't think you can threaten me at this point."
Can I just summon Fluffy inside the cage?
I think
I believe it's within range, so.
you can see into the. I think you have to see the area, right?
Yeah, any area I can see. No, wait. Magically summon the Drake that is bound to you. It appears in an unoccupied space within 30 feet of you. I don't even need to see it. It just needs to be unoccupied.
Okay, and that would use a spell to do at this point, or just this would
No.
be once per day.
Once per day, this is.
All right.
Because he didn't die yesterday.
So he, so you suddenly kind of do some sort of chant, I guess, or however you would summon the Drake, and the Drake would poof out of existence, suddenly appearing in the cage. And the guy goes, "What the?" Guard kind of walks over. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And the prisoner looks
Telepathically tell him not to worry about it, and then just be like, the bars mean nothing.
Then he looks to Moonbiter. He's like, "What is this? Get this thing away from me!" As it growls at him, he's like trying to back up.
I'm gonna smile and I'm gonna say, you always acted too tough for your own good, Olzek, and you know that. But it hasn't attacked yet, so don't get too panicky on me. It's not like you have anywhere to run to anyways. And then I'll say, my offer still stands and our deal is still good. Everything I can do to save you from the hangman's noose, I will do. For the reasons we've already talked about, and I won't go over again. But any additional information you give me now about these, and I'll gesture towards the maps, is just more. It's just more brownie points to use when I talk to the mayor onto why it's a good idea to keep you alive and to keep you from being a show for the townsfolk.
Give me intimidation with advantage.
Boop.
He says, "All right, yeah, sure. I know what the map means. I know where the location is that's pointing to. What do you want to know? Just the coordinates?
Yeah, that's it.
Everything.
Just get this damn Drake out of here. Or get this damn blizzard out.
I would look at Duranu and, and Draconic say, I mean, he's playing nice.
But taking the flesh off his bones would be so much more fun.
We currently have a deal, so I would appreciate if you didn't do that.
Okay. Can I get one of the cards to let Fluffy out so I don't have to waste a spell slot?
Are you asking about the clothing feeling?
No, he's saying if we can get a guard to open the cage so we can let.
No, Philia
Fluffy
messaged me.
Oh, gotcha.
Are you there, Philia? I thought she just messaged me.
Oh yeah, sorry. I muted myself. I got a phone call. But yes, I was asking you about that clothing.
Yeah, no, you could buy that at book price. That's fine.
All right, cool. Thank you.
All right, so you are poofing the Drake out.
No, I'm going to ask for a guard to open the cage to let the Drake out so I don't have to waste a spell slot.
The guard seems a little bit annoyed. He walks over and says to the guy, "Stay back." And he would unlock the cage as the Drake kind of proudly just saunters out, hisses at the guy again before he does.
Yeah, I think he'd do a quick bite towards him and then just
And now that the gate's
out.
open, I attack the guard and I free Olzik. Haha! I worked for the Iron Tide the whole time. No, okay.
I'm gonna shot in your face.
The long con.
Right. So he would lock the cage again. And the guy says, "Alright, I can tell you what this means. But you said you will try to get me out of here, right?"
Oh, I would give him a look of shock, just like I would never go back on my word. We have a deal. I'll see it through till the end, one way or the other, and I'll smile.
He says, "Yeah, just like your deals with the Iron Tide. I guess I got no choice." So he would show you with the coordinates how to read the map. And do you think you could probably find exactly where this place is?
And this is identified as the main base, where Orcard is.
He says this looks like it's where the main encampment is now. This looks like some kind of old mine shaft, maybe abandoned.
Okay.
How many people at the base?
He says, "I don't know. It doesn't say that on here." I wasn't with the main group. We were set right here. The main group of the Iron Tide went to establish kind of a base somewhere else.
Okay, and the Iron Tide is a general house. How many members?
This is the whole squad. I believe Orcard has 300 soldiers under his command. But I don't think he brought them all here.
And your best guess to how many he did bring?
He says, "I don't know. We were in separate units. I'm just a peon. I don't ask questions."
I would actually turn to Ranu and kind of, shrug apologetically. It's like, he's not wrong. Orcard doesn't let most of us know all the information in case a situation like this happens. So there's only so much damage we can do if he keeps it close to his chest. And then I'll turn to Olzik and I'll, give him a little bow and say, you've always been helpful, Olzik. So, I'm off to go see the mayor, and I hope to see you alive and well for when we go visit Captain Graves.
He nods. He says, "Yeah, if you get me out of here, maybe I'll even buy you a drink. Well, once I make some coin."
And I'll smile, and I'll actually, toss a gold piece into the bars and say, this sounds like a good investment to me. And I'll be waiting for that drink. And then I'll start heading over to the mayor's office, assuming Durano comes with.
I'll just look at you into your head and just be like, "Are we not just confirming what he's just said with the other one?"
I would say we can do that, but I think since we both already had an idea, from what we looked at the map, that was a likely place. He already confirmed what we were going to find out anyways, so I think it's a good time to talk to the mayor. And how much time has gone by, out of curiosity?
I mean, it's probably been about half hour or so.
Okay, so yeah, so that kind of fits the timeline of like getting back to the end to see if like Quentin has any information from his owl boy. So I would just say to Duran, I would say, see the mayor, then get back to the inn, and then decide if we have to go find those kids of yours or not. I think that's good enough. Also, I would trust Olzik over our Guinea Day because I know Olzik more better.
So Og is the one that I'm flaying if it comes down to it. Then
Um, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll
they
see.
nicely only goes so far.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but we'll see. I'll just say that again. Keep walking toward the mayor's office. And you can go to somebody else if you'd like.
Yeah, I was gonna
No,
say.
I'm gonna-
Or go ahead.
I'm gonna leave. Like I ain't got no reason to see the mayor.
Okay, so Duranu's taking off at this point. Philia, you were buying things. Was there anything in particular you want to RP, or can I just keep moving the camera?
You can keep moving camera, it's fine.
And Quentin, you were just sort of wandering. Did you need any time, or?
No, just question. Because
Yeah.
I just looked at it, it said that my wild companion, it's a... Or what did I just read it? Number of hours equal to your druid level. So my druid level's 3, so does that mean that I've got the wild companion for an hour and a half? Or is it rounded down?
Can you link it? Or did you? Oh, you did, okay.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
So it would just be... Usually it's just the hour, because it would round down.
Okay, I just didn't know if it was rounded down or if it was like an hour and a half, so that way I'd have time. But yeah, okay. So I
Yeah.
didn't want to check. No, I'm just waiting for the app to come back if I learn.
Alright. Why don't we take a 5-minute break at this point? Since we kind of went once around with everyone, and then we can come back and do some more RP.
Okay.
Sure.
Alright?
Makes
I'll be
sense.
back.
Geronimo didn't get to torture anyone. How sad.
I'm not gonna lie. I literally every time Duranu is like, should I just talk to them? I'm literally like, I love this guy. I genuinely love him.
He's just
Like Fluffy didn't get to rip like this guy's spy out, and I didn't get to flay anyone. I'm very disappointed.
oh my
Don't worry,
gosh.
you can fly them later.
A little bit later.
Oh,
Genuinely, when Ophelia started having a go at Quentin, I was just like, what the fuck have I done? What have I done? I was like, what have I done? I was like, all this stuff. I was like, got you. I'm with you now. I was like, okay.
No, because I'm just like, why did Quentin tell them that she was a tiefling? I was like, what the fuck is this?
I love the idea. Why did you tell everyone, even though everyone saw me run through time without my head? Like, no one knows. It's just like,
Yeah, cause like, dude, that's like telling someone like that, like it's kind of like it's like I don't know, like when Quentin and Philly roleplayed earlier about like trying to be
Yeah.
all open and being exposed, but she's not ready yet because she's had her life on the sea, where like it's only her mates and that's it majority of the time,
I know, but to him running through town where everyone saw you kind of defeated the point to him anyway. But yeah, no, because he doesn't even know what he's done. That's the difference. I do. He don't.
Geronimo doesn't know you're a tiefling. It's fine. One person doesn't know.
Well, Dorano is already, he's used to in the town. Phil doesn't know how people will react because, again, she is a demon halfling thingy. And most people are like, evil, we don't like that, That's why she was fearful.
No, I'm saying like Geronimo's the only person that doesn't know you're a tiefling.
He might
Yeah.
have a guess, actually, since he has survival and I guess he attacked the tiefling thing. You can kind of
Like-
put two together. unless he's a dum dum.
Well, like, Durano grew up in a place where, like, he didn't even believe humans existed. So, knowing what other races are, he probably doesn't. He just knows that people aren't the same down here. It's really weird.
Very weird. Okay, all right.
Give Quentin 20 minutes when he starts trying to like just vent. He'll tell you.
Oh, it's fine.
All
It's
our
like,
secrets. All our secrets just gone.
I
Like,
love it though because
Durano wouldn't care.
Huh?
Durano, like, just purely wouldn't care. It's like, oh, she's red with horns, I'm blue with horns, and I've got scales.
Yeah, Joey Quentin doesn't get the issue either, but you know.
It's part of her backstory. Don't worry about it.
No, I got it. It was one of those things of I just wanted to check what I'd done. I was like, shit, what have I done? I was like, oh crap, whatever. And then it's one of those things like, oh, okay, I get it. And now I know how he'd react. It's like, I don't get it. What?
Yeah. Like,
I just love Karen's told Quentin off so many times, and Quentin's just like, I don't give a shit. Felia moans at him once, and he's now just like, shit, no, Karen's annoyed at me. Durano's annoyed at me because of the kids. Felia's annoyed at me because I don't know what I've done.
do you have any insight?
I do. He's not used it yet. Like it's one of those things of he's very how to put this. You know when someone's just very insular, it's about them.
Yeah.
He's very much like that at the minute. Yeah, not self-centered. It's not all me. It's more just the fact of he's not observant of other people at the minute because he's still in a new town and he's getting used to the whole just that stuff and being around people and yeah.
Yeah, I would have thought you were more worried about other things and it just didn't come up. And
it might
like,
be.
not even care.
No, it was that. I think it was the fact that he was a bit more focused of getting the short rest, not having the things turn up and that stuff. He just, to him, because of how you were just like, oh, I've got to go out there, he's just like, shit, I should have told him about the kids. We should have been looking for... And he's kind of beating himself up over it. He's not... He thinks that you're annoyed at him, and he's beating himself up over the fact that he's annoying people. Less about the fact that he's actually checking you aren't annoyed at him, more he's convinced you are. Because he's a pissed off Karen and Felia. And now he's just like, I'm pissing everyone off. So he's kind of like really panicking. Yeah.
He's just used to it irritating everyone else so much that he just assumes he's irritated everyone.
Well, he's never used... But here's the thing, he's not used to irritating people. It's only since being here, he irritates people. So he's kind of really like overstressing things now. Because he's just like, oh god, because he's not being any different to how he's used to being. It's just people are reacting differently to how he's used to people reacting. So it's this whole thing of, yeah, he's kind of like overstressing everything because he's used to just no one. Because you know the golden kid who could burn the house down and the parents would still be like, oh, but he's perfect and that stuff, and he's used to that. So this whole thing of people getting annoyed at him, it's very new to him.
Oh boy.
Love it.
So it's just that fact. He's not. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why he's just like he's convinced he's pissing everyone off. Like he's trying now not to piss anyone off, which is kind of why he's staying out the way and not talking. Because he's worried of pissing off Moonbite and Marcellinus now. Well, no, because you would be though. You would be like if you think you're upsetting people that you're hanging around with, you would worry about upsetting them.
You would try and step on eggshells.
Well, he doesn't think he has. That's the other bit. He doesn't get what Karen. He gets it. With Durano, he realizes he thinks he's fucked up. He didn't mention it. And to Felia, he doesn't know what he's done to Felia. He thought they were kind of like getting on in a bit like the brother and sister relationship thing, and now he feels like it's not just a sibling irritation. He's proper crossed the line, and he doesn't get what he's done. So it's one of those things.
That's okay, don't worry about it. We'll all have a big fight and brawl and then just hug afterwards and just be like, that's what siblings do.
Stab.
Well, Karen's the one he'd worry about the most, to be honest. If it really kicked off, he'd hide somewhere, turn into a spider and like crawl on the ceiling somewhere and just be like, yeah, no one's gonna see me.
Oh boy.
Well, no, it's fun. It's fun. It is fun. It's just one of those things. When I actually did it, I literally was just like, "What have I done?" And that's just like, neither one of us know what you've actually done. It's like, you've done this. Like, gotcha. I'm with you now. Okay.
No, you're fine. I mean, again, it's kind of like siblings, but Philia kind of feels like she's like, cause like you're right. Philia did think of Quentin as like a brother or like brethren, but like he
Yeah.
went and told everybody like that she was a tiefling, and she was
Yeah.
like, ooh,
I entirely get it. It's a bit like someone forcing you out the closet before you're there.
yeah,
I get the whole why Philia's pissed. I just, at the time, I didn't know what I'd done, and then I was just like, okay, no, I'm with you now. Now I know how. That's cool. I get why Philia's like it, and I think Quentin, after the initial once he finds out, and it's just like, I don't get why you're upset. He will get it, but yeah, but again, it's a weird one because Quentin doesn't see an issue with it because he's a bit like I said, like we did in the RP attack chat. You're just like, but you're just like me, just different parent. Like we're both extra worldly.
except
I-
one looks more human than the other person, so it's kind of like,
Yeah, but the weird bit to him is like looking human doesn't mean you're less evil or less demonic. Like people are evil, and he's
Yeah.
very aware of that. So he's a bit like, yeah, but in fairness, I'm more deadly than you because you look how you are, and people are automatically suspicious of you. I look like the perfect boyfriend. And I can kill them.
Barbie doll.
No, like, I look in modern day. I look like Ken, but could be a Ted Bundy.
Oh God.
Quentin is the sort of person who goes on a date, puts zero fucking effort in, and he's just like, yeah, I know you want me, let's go back to yours.
Yeah,
Like,
and then
Quentin is the worst person on a date ever.
God, yeah.
Guaranteed.
Quentin doesn't. Well, I'm not gonna say Quentin doesn't do work. Quentin's interested in the other person, but he's very aware that this is ending up at your house with us having sex. So I don't need to put in as much effort as someone who you're punching, because he's just like, I don't punch. I mean, I'm beautiful as I am. I'm ethereal. I'm all this shit. I don't need to do effort. I know you want me.
Oh God. No wonder Karen's pissed off at him. No wonder Karen's
Yeah.
pissed off.
But this is the thing. This is like what I meant by this is what he's grown up with. This is what he's experienced, which is why when he doesn't get it, it's so different for him. But again, it is that thing of he is still gorgeous. Like, think of like catwalk models who can eat a McDonald's and Domino's pizza and doesn't. They don't have to do any work. He just looks that stunning 24/7. Like he could go out on the night, get absolutely smashed, wake up the next morning, and still look like Kim Kardashian at a runway.
Oh gosh.
I know, but to be honest, if you had that, you would be arrogant because you are just like, yeah, I look perfect no matter what. But it's funny because of the whole Marcellinus and him thing. Because Marcellinus is the exact same, and Marcellinus isn't like isn't like Quentin's personality, which is interesting. But I love how you're the one trying to keep your secret, and everyone knows it. Quentin's not trying to keep his secret, and no one knows he's an Asmar, really.
I know
Like-
nothing. Like, not everyone knows it. Durani's just sort of wandering around like,
But this is the weird bit because he's told
people call me their
Karen.
friends. That's weird.
He's told Karen and Moonbiter. Philia knows, but the one person who would really want to know, Marcellinus, doesn't know. And Quentin's not bothered about keeping it a secret. Quentin would admit it if someone asked, but no one's been like, so you're just like, yeah.
I think
But
Durani would actually be pissed off if the town had any negative reaction to like Philia being a tiefling. Because
Quentin
like
would be as
he's
well.
provided, like they would literally be biting the hand that feeds them.
The thing
it's
is,
like-
I think Raven wanted to RP that, but Mercy has been like out to do the work. So I mean, it's just at the moment everyone was kind of keeping their distance from the group, you know.
Oh no, I agree, and I think he wanted to do that as well. Of course, ever since that whole incident with you and Marcellinus, he hasn't been here, which I was a bit like, oh, that's really like that would have been great to do.
Yeah.
But I agree with Duranu. I think Quentin would have the exact same reaction because I think I watched a clip of this. It's on the TV show, and basically it's the bloke's mum having a go at him for how he's treating his ex-partner who's bringing up the kid. And basically at the end she's like, you don't have to like her, but you damn well have to respect her. And I was just like, if it ever comes to like the town actually turn, I am stealing that line. I was like, I'm stealing that. Like, I literally have got like not a monologue, but like a vent at people, and it's literally just like you don't have to like her, but all of you assholes have to bloody well respect her because without her, you're all fucking dead. And yeah,
Yeah,
it's one of those things.
not accepting
Alright.
the red one with horns and like.
Yeah.
I would be like, well, I'm blue. I've got horns. I've got scales. You're biting the hand that feeds you. So
Well, they know you.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just sort of wandered into town. Like, people are attacking. I can't stay in the woods anymore. I'm kind of just here, and I'm gonna help, and then I'm gonna use my Drake to keep everyone else away from me, and just be like
Like,
the loner guy that just does a patrol every now and again.
I love
Like,
the idea that when he first turns up, everyone's just like, "Oh my god, it's that dragon weirdo." Yeah, he's really weird, isn't he? Like, yeah, he
Like-
lives in a hut and eats a potato every day and
Like-
smelled really bad.
no, I don't smell really bad. I smell like honey.
I know,
I-
but if you
I
look at how you
legitimately-
dress,
No, I
You'd be
mechanically
like-
smell like honey. Like,
Why-
I can't
no, but
smell
also,
bad.
like,
Why do you smell like
going off
honey?
how you,
Fey lost.
They lost, alright.
Yeah, it's part of the trait. You get marked by the Fey Wild, and I smell like honey.
I just love the idea that he's generally. He
And-
looks like a homeless guy who stinks and piss, and then it's just, oh, it smells lovely.
Yeah, I do. I smell lovely, and occasionally a fairy dragon comes and talks to me in my sleep.
Well, no one comes close enough because your Drake is scary.
Yes,
So they wouldn't know
I
what you
use my
smell
Drake
like
to keep the
anyway.
people away because this city is very claustrophobic for Duranu. Like,
The town, it's not much of a city.
from everyone's perspective except for Duranu's, from being like from a tribe, he would like this would be a massive city. Like if you sort of look at it from his perspective,
Fair enough.
or at least in my opinion. But yeah, I guess the break's over.
Yeah, so, sorry, that took a little longer than I was expecting. Okay, so Ophelia is finishing up her shopping, Quentin is wandering, and Moonbiter, you were going to see the mayor. Duranu, you were heading back to the Darkwater.
I'd probably do another patrol around the city wall.
Okay, so you're keeping an eye out. Alright. I'm drinking some more caffeine. I don't know. I've been feeling a little low energy. Do I seem low energy?
A little bit.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully this Coke will help. Alright, so Moonbiter. What do you
Cocaine is a hell of a step. Have you tried tea?
No, I haven't gone to cocaine yet. Maybe that's the next step.
It's heroin.
No,
Heroin.
This Coke isn't working. I'm just right on camera. Just sniff. There we go.
Don't do drugs, kids, unless you D&D. Then you'll need them.
The stream just became R-rated.
Was it not before? Oops.
I guess it
Should probably
kinda
turn down my
was.
language.
Yeah,
The really awkward bit. The really awkward bit is when you hear a bunch of like strippers coming from the background and do some lines of coke as well and go back out.
Well, like in my room or in my office? I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't know.
That'd be unlikely. But anyway, Moonbiter, you are heading to speak with the mayor.
Yes. And you gave us her name last time. Crappy Elios. And I don't remember where I wrote it down.
It's Mayor Asher.
Oh, it is Mayor Asher. Oh, okay. Oh, I wrote it as Major Asher, so I'm like, who the hell is Major Asher? Like I gotta ask him about that. So yeah, Mayor Asher. Okay, cool.
So you're led to an office where there's the guard knocks and a young woman's voice is, come in. And he opens the door and you see a woman in there. She looks like she is probably in her late teens, early 20s. She is sitting behind a desk. She gives you a big smile as you walk in and says, you must be one of the heroes. She doesn't have a pitchfork for you.
No, it's canon. It's in the photo. She just.
Her
I have my
pitchfork is
halberd.
leaning up against the wall right now. She's not standing there with it.
I lean my halberd next to her pitchfork. The
But
tips touch. We have a moment. Okay, moving on.
she seems very young for a mayoral position, but nevertheless, she has a big smile on her face as she walks up and offers you her hand to shake hers. She says, "We are all very much in your debt for what you and your friends have done for this town."
I have my visor up, so like as she approaches, she will see like a look of surprise on my face. And I'll shake her hand, and I'll definitely say, you seem a little bit on the young side to be dealing with the problems of an entire town. Did your successor die in one of the attacks?
So the guard cringes a bit. She keeps a smile on her face and she says, "My father, actually. Yes, he was killed. But I was very close to him, and I was asked by the town, myself and my mother, to kind of assume the position. And since I knew much more politics than my mother did, I stepped in."
Mm. I'll give her a nod of respect, and I'll say, I apologize for coming across as crass. I'm a very blunt person, so.
Oh,
So.
no worries at all, she says. And my father wasn't actually killed in the Iron Tide attacks. He died before them. But don't even give it another thought, she says. I understand. Many have seen me and thought I was a little young, and perhaps I am a little bit young to be doing this, but I'm doing my best until we have someone else, maybe from the noble family, step in. No one else is here to help Chaur, so I am here to do it.
And she says that, I'll smile and I'll just say, "Don't worry. I'm not sure if we're heroes, but we will be here to help Chaur. So you're not alone in this."
Well, I thank you for that. So I was told by the guards that you wanted to see me about something relating to the prisoners. I believe.
Yeah.
Who was it? It was Captain Grove who mentioned it.
Grove, he's a good man. Yes, he and I had a lengthy conversation about what's going on here at Chaur and the attacks. How much information? She already mentioned Iron Tide, so she's aware of the Iron Tide or the enemy. So I'll skip what I was about to say. I'll say, as you are aware, there are two Iron Tide prisoners currently in the cages below, and I understand that. An execution is being planned as a way to placate the townspeople, since things have been going so poorly for so long. There's nothing like a good execution and hanging to get people's spirits back on track.
Yeah, she seems a little bit uncomfortable as you say it, and says, "Unfortunately, it would not be my chosen path, but I do see the benefit in dispensing justice, or at least justice in the eyes of the people. Some of these people pay for the crimes of their leaders."
And I understand that they're mercenaries. They know the hazards of the line of work we're in. So it's not to be unexpected that if you get captured, you don't get the best treatment. One thing that Captain Groves and I talked about extensively is what other uses those prisoners could have. And there is a plan that I do have in dealing with the Iron Tide as a whole, and they're part of that plan. But I also understand that this is a tough decision to make, and so that's why I came to talk to you directly, to give you my thoughts and see what I could do to save those prisoners. Not that they're innocent or anything, but they could be used for a better purpose than to, what they're going to be used for.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Boop.
She says, "What did you have in mind exactly?"
And for sake of brevity, I'll the same conversation I had with Grobes about that I know who the person is directly leading the attacks on Char themselves, and if I use them, I could maybe convince that person to take their forces away from Char. and all that would be left is to deal with the mastermind, which we've helped. We've been what you call it? We've been given information to where they're at, thanks to those prisoners that we have. And I am going to embellish a little bit more about what the prisoners have offered as information to make it seem like, especially now that Durano's gone, to make it seem like without them, I would not have been able to find out where the main base is and where maybe how we can put it into all this to try to improve my chances of keeping him from the chopping block.
Give me deception or persuasion. Also, do you mention, and before you roll that, do you mention that you used to be part of their group?
No, I will say that because I think the last time the last time when I had one of the conversations, I think with Arg, with Olzek I had one alone, but with Arg, a guard was there, and he was just like, you know these guys, and I just made that spiel about how I used to be a mercenary, and so we are aware of each other. That if that does come up, I would use that same line, just like, you know, I've dabbled in mercenary work, and if you keep coming back alive, you get to know people, and they just happen to be on the other side of the conflict this time.
She gives you a bit of a curious look, but just nods. Give me persuasion or deception with advantage.
I'll do persuasion, and I'm going to use one of my superiority dice. 8. So 18.
Okay. Well, if you think that these men could be used to end this conflict, I would agree that that's way more valuable than just putting them to death. You say you need both of them?
Yes. The plan I have is going to be extremely risky, and there's not a guarantee that it'll work. But I do think that if I have the two of them at my side voicing the same opinion, we might be able to cut off the attacks on Chaur immediately. And if it doesn't work, well, they'll already be in danger, just like I am. So, no matter what, you know, if things go poorly, well, they'll get their justice in the end.
So she says, I would feel better about keeping at least one of them here. I would be happy to release them if the whoever is behind this agrees to call off the attacks, but in case the negotiations do go poorly, I would feel better having a little bit of backup that I wouldn't just lose both prisoners. So I can definitely stay the executions, and I could release one of them to you, but as I said, I'd rather keep the other one here just in case we need him later.
I'll nod to that, and I'll say, you know, it's always good to have one more arrow in the quiver.
And if,
I would,
as I said, if they do agree to call off the attacks, then I would be willing to release him given some time that we see they are actually not attacking and letting us get back to our farms and our lives.
okay. And then I would nod. I would give her a bow, and you know, tell her how thankful I am for her to allow me to take this gamble.
Of course.
And yeah, and with that,
I appreciate that you and your friends are doing all this for the town. Do you know Durano? I mean, personally, I assume he is some sort of mercenary like yourself. He's been here for a while, but we don't know much about him. He seems nice enough.
I'll look a little bit surprised at that, and I'll say, I'm actually figured you, the town, would know more about him than I would, since we've just met, and he hasn't been. Well, we haven't had much of time to actually get to know each other, considering all the fighting we've been doing with the Iron Tide. So it's actually curious to me that he's also a newcomer that recently came to this town when all this trouble happened. I just assumed he'd always been here.
He's not exactly a newcomer. We've known him for a while, but the I can't call him a man. I guess the dragon. He's very much a loner. Very much keeps to himself. Recently, he started bringing that Drake into town, which has been scaring everyone, but no one seems to have been hurt by it yet. So we've allowed it. I was just curious if maybe you knew more about him, because as I said, he seems like a nice and generous person, but just very, very much keeps to himself.
He seems to have his heart in the right place. So that's all I can really say about him. Aside from that, he's doing what he can, and yeah, that's all I got. Your guess is as good as mine.
And I've heard that one of your group has red skin and horns, but she also seems like she's not been a problem. Do you know much about her?
What I would say is that
I apologize if I'm being very talkative. I have a lot of questions about your group, as you seem very heroic, and we just don't know much about you. I've just been hearing stories.
I'll smile and I will say, what I can say is this: is that I feel like any answers you may have about my companions are best suited to be directed at them. I am kind of new to these people as well. There's a lot of stories to be had, and maybe once this conflict is over and we are celebrating, those stories will come to light. For now, I would say that everybody is doing their part for the good of the town, and I think that that's enough for me personally. Uh,
She smiles and nods and says, "I had assumed you were all friends already. It's quite amazing that you all just met under such circumstances and have formed such a coherent group."
I'll laugh and I'll say, we we put on a show for sure. That's all I can say about that. And
She says, "Well, I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me." And again, she kind of gives you a handshake and says, "If there's anything else I can do for you, either come see me or most likely Grobe. He will be easier to get a hold of. And good luck to you. Oh, and I would appreciate it if you did find out any more information about these Iron Tide, where the Iron Tide and where their base is, that you share it with me."
I'll give her another bow and I'll smile deeply and said, "Of course, my lady." And then with that, I'll leave.
Okay. So you all, I assume, head back to the inn at this point?
Yeah.
Yep, that's where I head.
So your owl has come back. Unfortunately, it has not found the children. So they are most likely still wandering out in the woods somewhere.
Did I get that at the inn, or was I wandering around and it came to me before I got back?
We'll say while you were wandering around, just flew down and told you about its journey.
Okay.
So, are we going to
So
go
once we
look for them?
reconvene, is that the yeah? We reconvene and you tell us that you didn't find anything.
Sorry, I was doing myself a drink. Sorry, I was pouring at the time. I was just like, yeah, what? Oh, okay.
The owl shows up, settles on your shoulder, starts whispering at you and mean mugging the rest of us, and it's like, yeah.
Yep. Okay, bye. And it vanishes. Just like,
So
everyone just said.
no one
Sure.
says, are we going to go look for them then? Or do we want to go hand this information over to Blackwater, Bloodhand? What are we doing?
Probably should go ahead and go find the kids.
And she nods. She says, I don't know if we'll like what we find, but I guess at least put our minds at ease that they're not still out there.
If you think the information we have completes the contracts, then go ahead and complete the contracts.
But what if they ask more questions?
Then their questions are their questions. I'm not sticking around here for too much longer.
Marcellinus says, are we going to just give them the maps? Is that the deal? Because we could only give it to one of them.
No.
Like- Can I take the crude maps and then just combine the information?
Well, I would say,
Sure.
why do we have to give them anything? They want us. We can keep the maps and we can tell them the information that we know where they are, and then
I mean, just give them the coordinates.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, Philia has paper and pen. You can probably just go ahead and make another copy.
giving them
No one,
copies, I'm okay with.
no one nods. She says that would probably be the the most lucrative way of doing it. Make 3 copies of the map. Give one of them to, or 2 copies of the map. Give one to each faction and collect our reward. Are any of you good at drawing?
I don't know.
I do think we are deviating slightly. If we're worried about the kids, I think that we should go now and do that because
Yeah, if you guys want to go do that, because I know some people wanted to hand the information in, it's like you guys can go hand the information in. Like Durano's leaving in about 20 minutes, so it's a case of if you want to do that before I get going, then go ahead.
What would I roll for even drawing performance?
So usually map would be calligraphy or cartography.
Gosh dang it.
If you don't have any of those, like from your background,
Jeez.
I mean, it might be something like dexterity based, using your hands. I don't know, what skill do you think you'd use for that? You know what? You probably could use survival, because survival is more reading and creating maps and knowing how to use coordinates. So you might want to have one of your people who is skilled in such things make it. Oh, is that what you were rolling for right there?
Philia kind of looks at Durano and Moonbiter and goes, "So, do you guys think you can probably work it out, or?"
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So, Quentin, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, let's burn my last point of inspiration to not have disadvantage on this.
Well, didn't Quentin?
Well, are we doing this right now? Like, are we making the checks
I got-
because we're going to stop and do the maps right now, or are we going to?
I got
In a little
17,
bit.
so I was gonna do it.
So
we come back, basically, I think.
you do you have ink and paper?
Yes, I do. That's what I
Right.
bought.
So you can spend 1 piece of paper to create one of the maps. 17. So you think you made a pretty good copy working with Quentin. He kind of is telling you how to draw things and how to like use the coordinates, how to space things, and you think you made a pretty good copy of it. If you want to make a second one, go ahead and give me another 2 rolls of survival.
Survival.
Okay. So yeah, your second one isn't as good a copy, but you think it'll work. It's still readable, and the coordinates are still easy to see.
And it's been a piece of paper. Okay.
So you now have 2 copies of the map. It is probably... Why does it keep closing my calendar? Hate you, Roll20. It is probably about 9 o'clock in the morning at this point.
Can I find Shock to drop some stuff off in his room so it's secure?
Yeah, so Shock, he's in the bar. He says, you know, you might want to just get a key from one of your friends just in case I'm not around. But,
Oh, that's yeah, they whatever. Yeah, okay.
but I'd be happy to do it now, he says. And he would walk you up to his room and unlock it and let you dump as much stuff there as you want.
Cool.
The Blackwater Estate.
He says, I think there's also a guy who does storage. You could check with that. I don't know how much stuff. I guess it's only a small amount of things you're leaving there, right?
Yeah, it's just like basically backpack, bedroll, and just
Okay.
everything that I don't immediately need.
Gotcha.
Like-
Okay.
Just lighten myself up so I can move. quicker.
So you put your stuff there. He locks the door. So yeah, what does the group want to do at this point? You have your 2 copies of the maps. You're in the little meeting room that you have rented out for the day.
I guess we can go ahead and look for the kids.
Do we? No one says. What about the Blood Hand? You think maybe they've seen them? They might have information. They have people around.
Outside of
Yeah.
town? What, a
Felix
criminal
watches
group?
secrets.
Well, if they came into town, maybe the guards didn't notice, but maybe the Blood Hand knows something about survivors. Just a thought. She says, I know that in a lot of cities, the black market is the place to go to look for information on missing peoples. They have all sorts of secrets. So, just thinking maybe the Blood Hand have something like that.
Right, if someone wants to go ask them, then
I mean, if we're working for them, they might be willing to give the information up. Not saying they know anything. It is just an idea. She says.
Philia wait, who was it the one who talked to them first? It's a Cithril. Cithril?
Cithral's the leader of them, as far as you know.
No, who talked to them when we were over here in like this hideout? Was this one?
It
That
was
was
Karen
Cithril.
Karen mostly, because Quinton put his foot in it about the wood elf thing.
Yeah, Karen has been the. Usually, she's kind of the spokesperson for the group because she has a lot of charisma, I believe.
Gosh dang it.
yeah, our face isn't here.
The other one is Marcellinus. He has a lot of charisma, but he is not the biggest fan of the Thieves Guild. Like he's kind of on the fence about even giving them the information.
Okay,
That's why
so
he's
who
not
wants?
here.
Here's a
Yes.
quick question: who wants to go with the Ranu? Who is going to be good at looking for the kids, and who is not going to slow him down? Firstly,
It's not going to slow me down.
Yeah.
Depends. Do we want to be careful about it?
well, I don't think you want to have a massive fight when you're looking for the lost
Well,
children.
here's a question: is if we're gonna look for the kids, we have to go back to that farm and retrace their steps, right?
Yeah.
So the farm we just attacked, and then that group we saw, we didn't stop them, so we can assume they went to the farm, found that it got raided, so it could be possibly more Irontide there since it got attacked, or it could be empty.
Mhm.
So if we're gonna go, like, it sounds to me like we need to all go because there could be Irontide in the forest looking for the people that attacked that, waiting in ambush for anybody
Yeah.
to come back. So I don't-
Definitely.
Well, how about we all go and just put the maps, giving them over back until we get back, because they don't need it now.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we can, if we give them the maps, we can ask them about the kids. Maybe they saw
Yeah.
someone.
Because if we don't find them out there in the woods, then we come back, ask, and if they're here, great. Because we still need to go deal with the Irontide eventually anyway. And if they're not here, then we know they're dead.
So you're saying we go start looking for them now, and if we don't find them, come back and give the maps, or give them the maps
Yes.
now and ask and then
No.
leave?
Other way. We
Other
go
way.
look, then come
Oh.
back, give maps.
I was saying we should give them the maps first in case they saw them. No one says. Because then we
Oh,
can save
you-
ourselves a day trip out to the dangerous place if they know where they are.
Is the farm that we went to on the way to the main camp, by any chance?
No, the main camp. You mean the one that you just discovered?
Yeah.
Sort of. So,
Well, the farm was like to the southwest, and then the main camp is like directly to the west, right?
yeah. So the farm is kind of over here. Let me use my DM map. So the farm is kind of over here. The main camp is all the way over here. Each square is about a day's worth of travel. So kind
Okay.
of ish. It's sort of in the same direction. It is a detour though. It's probably like a 3 or 4 hour detour.
Right.
I mean, I guess it makes sense to check all the boxes before we just start running into the brush. So we could go to the Bloodhead now and say, hey, here's your information. By the way, there are 2 children from that farm that may have made it to town without their parents? Do you know anything about that? And if they don't, then we can head back to the farm and see what we can find out. I mean, it does make sense since we're already in town, just for expedience sake.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
mean, I don't want to be a downer. No one says, but if those kids didn't get to town, like they're dead. Like there's no way they could still be in the woods alive this long, unless, like you said, they had just run out when we got there.
What better time to flee than when the place is under attack? But you'd be surprised how resilient some kids can be.
He says, yeah, maybe it's possible.
Okay, so let's go visit the Blood Hand. Yay!
If you're
Oh.
gonna go do that, do you want me and Marcellinus to go take the other map to Blackwater in case he's watching us and then gets really annoyed we gave it to them first? Also, because Marcellinus doesn't like the Bloodhand.
I mean, if he's watching us, then he's going to get really annoyed either way because he'll know we took it to them and him.
Yeah.
Why not? Split up, deliver maps. I'll go wait at the gate.
So, are we really sure we wish to give the Blood Hand this information? Marcellus says. I still
Look,
feel.
Marcellinus, I know you don't like them, but we agreed to do it and we're doing it, so don't win.
And we already took their money. Like, we can't back out now. They paid us half up
yes,
front.
Much to my protest, he says, a little annoyed.
They
Yes,
didn't
well,
give us half up front.
I'm sure
Yeah,
there are
Blackwater did.
people that protest that there are paladins that represent the goddess of torture, so it's okay. We'll be alright. You don't have to
He says, that's a strange comparison. How much? How much?
Oh!
I'm just gonna.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, what's happening?
I think the gold that we got promised at Blackwater was, I think, because we all got 50 gold each. So I think it's 600 gold pieces, and we all get 100 gold each.
Yes, it was 50 now each, then 50 later each, and I believe
Yeah.
the Blood Hand gave you a similar offer.
It was.
they?
Yeah, it was. I think it was the same, 100 per, but they didn't give us any up front.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't give us any upfront. It was only
No.
Blackwater that did.
Yeah,
But I'll just look at Marcellus and just telepathically into his head and just be like, Fluffy will eat them once we're done using them.
he looks to you and says, "How does that make it better? That is very dishonorable. We can't." Anyway,
Quinton's gone up with one of the maps, so he's going to look to Marcellinus and go, I will go and talk to Blackwater on my own if you don't come. And you know how bad I am at talking to people.
I will go
So-
with you to Blackwaters. I guess
Alright.
we can. Let's
Head
just
to the
get this
gate.
done. All right. So Marcellinus and Quentin are going to go to speak with Blackwater, and the rest of you are going to the Bloodhand base.
Anyone
Delana's
can come
going
with
to the
us.
gate.
Sorry, who's going to the gate?
Durano.
Durani's going to the gate to wait.
He
for
doesn't
them.
need to deal with business contacts. Actually, is there a stable in this place?
Yes, the inn has a stable.
Do they have horses for sale?
Oh, we have
Uh,
Gloria.
Do we?
Yeah, Gloria's been in the
Donkey,
stable
right?
this whole time, yeah. Or
Yeah,
donkey
you-
cart.
You do still have your donkey. Part of your upkeep would be maintaining the stable.
So now if you're hoping to ride her into the forest, that might not go so well. But we do have a donkey and cart if we need we need them.
And carts are only good on roads. You can't take a cart off into a forest or plains.
No, I'm thinking a draft horse.
So they don't have them for sale at the inn, but there are stable masters at the market. Lately, they've been low on horses, and they basically have like riding horses and draft horses, but only like one or two. So if you're interested, you could probably find one for sale.
Yeah, I'll go pick up a draft horse whilst they're delivering maps and other useful things
All right,
that
so
you need to
can-
have a draft horse.
They have one horse for sale right now. You would get it at book price, basically price and a half for it. So it's a little bit.
Oh,
more
price and a
expensive.
half.
Yeah.
Can't afford it then. Cool.
Yeah, because it's the last horse. Now, what you could do, you could ask around and see if any of the farmers are selling a horse. You just need to use persuasion and talk to people, which I know your guy isn't very much into.
Can he do it by walking around where the farmers are and then just telepathically into the head, got a horse for sale, got a horse for sale? Just to creep
They
him out
probably
that bit
start
extra?
screaming and running away because they have no idea why there are voices in their head.
Cool, I failed to buy a horse, and then we'll head to the gate.
All right.
I mean, you already have those saddlebags on Fluffy. What else do you need?
At
which,
price and
by
a
the
half,
way, the fluffy saddlebags, those are meant for a high up creature, so those probably drag around along the ground as the thing runs because the fluffy's like on the ground running. It's not like a
Yeah.
big horse.
oh no, it's tiny, it's like,
I will say
Like-
if you want, you can probably get a riding horse for normal sale, normal price.
I can only afford a draft horse at book price.
Oh, I
I
thought
mean,
riding
is
horse
the
was
group
more.
still together or no? Or did everyone already walk off?
You're kind of getting ready to leave.
So Philly will turn to Duranu, ask him for his plans and what he's trying to buy.
No, I was just gonna go get a horse.
Philly will give Duranu 20 gold.
Well, why are we getting a horse?
Because I want a horse.
Yeah,
Get
but
a
if we're
horse.
traveling together, then we'll still be going normal speed, so the horse will.
We
just
will be. But
Well, horses can carry more if you have saddlebags.
They can.
You can load them up because like they're meant to carry a ton of stuff.
and me on top of it, I get a bit more range and movement, which is great. With 20 gold, let's just do math.
All right. Well, why don't we reconvene after the money is gotten, maybe? Because actually, you wouldn't have known that you didn't have enough money because you hadn't gone to the market yet.
Yeah.
So we'll
He
say
was in market, so right? He's heading there regardless.
true. Yeah.
So I just gave him 20 gold just to take care of business.
Okay.
I can't afford it with an extra 20 gold either.
So you get an extra
Anyway,
20 gold to hopefully get a horse, but that's not going to be enough. You could always ask maybe someone later to go and ask around for you, see if any of the farmers are selling one. Let's see. Moonbiter, you went to the Bloodhand base. Quentin went to Blackwater Estate. Ophelia, you went to the Bloodhand base, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll do Quentin and Marcellus first because Quentin hasn't gotten to do as much this game. So you are.
Okay,
He's just
cool.
been kind of hanging out.
No,
You
it's good.
you approach with Marcellinus. He waves to the guards who nod and let the two of you in. Going into Blackwater's main hall, you still see all the mercenaries around. Blackwater nods as you approach. He says, friends, welcome back. Do you have news?
Yeah, I'm just gonna find in the map.
He says, excellent. He takes a look at the map. Marcellinus says, I believe this completes our contract. Yes, friend? And he says, yes, indeed. This is exactly what I needed. Where did you get it?
Dead body.
He says, dead body. Could you be more specific? Where was this dead body?
It was a dead body at a farm that was burning. That we saved.
He says, so this was some sort of encampment where you found this.
No, it was the farm they were attacking at.
He says it was at the farm itself where the bandits hold up there.
No, they were attacking a farm that farmers lived in. We turned up there, killed them, found the map on the dead body.
That makes absolutely no sense, friend. They were attacking a farm that you just happened to turn up in.
No, sorry. So, what happened was...
Marcellinus kind of puts his hand out. He says, maybe I should do this, my young friend. And he starts talking to Blackwater, telling him what happened. makes a persuasion check. Blackwater nods. He says, I see. Well done. It seems that you were in quite a situation there, able to fight off, or being able to fight off all those bandits and that ogre. And this does look authentic. Tell me, did you? Is this the exact map you found? And Marcella says, no, we made a copy. We wanted to keep the map for ourselves, just in case. He says, fair enough. Did you give this information to anyone else? And you see Marcellin is visibly straining. Are you going to say anything, Quentin?
Yeah. Although I don't know what I'm going to say. Yeah, so with him straining, Quentin's just going to cough. And just be like, as far as I'm aware, we've not agreed to give it to anyone else.
Give me a deception check.
Gosh dang
Before I
it.
do that, I'm gonna touch my chest and give myself guidance because fuck it.
If you give yourself guidance, you do have to do a chant, which will make it very obvious you're casting a spell. Because I think guidance does require somatic and verbal components. So it's like you'll just start chanting and then suddenly answer him. It will look suspicious.
I'll just say it's a druid prayer. All right, cool. We went deception. All right.
You have like an
Fuck it.
inspiration.
I'm using an inspiration.
Okay. No!
Oh no!
Gracious.
Wah, wah.
Even with inspiration, I fucked up.
So you're like, no, we didn't give it to.
No.
Go ahead.
I imagine the accent he has actually just be like, his actual action. No, we didn't say it to.
Not at
No.
So Blackwater
God,
arches an eyebrow at you. Marcellinus gives like a little smile. He says, well, I would appreciate it if you did not share the information with anyone. Because for the next part of my plan, I would like to hire you and your group to go to this place with some of my forces and help take out this Irontide threat. But I don't want anyone else involved in this. So it is imperative that you not give this information to anyone else. Because I don't know who we can trust with it and if the Irontide have spies in the town.
I promise that I will not give it to anyone else.
He says you would be wise not to, as it could make the overall plan much harder to accomplish.
I promised you that,
just sighs.
I promised you that I will not give it to anyone else.
He says you keep emphasizing that. Yes, I've already said that would be a good idea.
I know, but you were re-emphasizing what you had said earlier, so I thought we had to make this very clear. I don't know, like.
Well, in any case, we'll let the rest of your group know, and let me know if you're willing to take the contract. You will be well paid for your services, and hopefully at the end of this, with our combined strength, with my mercenaries and my troops, we can drive back the Irontide.
And can I have the money you said you'd give us when we gave you the map?
Says, of course. And he snaps his fingers, and one of the guys comes over with a pouch that has 300 gold pieces.
All right. Thank you. I'll go tell everyone else and see what they say.
He goes to shake Marcellinus's hand, who looks at him, looks at Quentin, and says, we shall come back to you about the agreement later. I must confer with my people. Blackwater seems a little bit put off, but he nods and says, all right, let me know what your answer is, but don't take too long. The town is in danger, and we have to get rid of this threat. And
I want to insight that shade. Yeah. I want to see if he's being legit worried about the town or if he's just lying his face off.
You can give me an insight.
Yeah.
Oh, snake.
You think he is somewhat worried about the town, but you don't think that's his main concern.
Okay. Before we go,
yeah.
Karen. Okay, before we go, I want to ask: if he's seen any, if they've had like 2 kids, or anyone in his castle seen 2 kids like without family or parents and stuff.
Well, there's been quite a few orphans since the attacks. So many of the farmers have died, and some of their children did escape. But is there a specific set of children you're looking for?
Now, the woman who told Duranu the farm that was down from hers, did she tell him the name of the farmer? I don't remember.
Sure, we'll say she could have told you.
Oh, basically asking about them.
So you say their names. He shrugs. He says, "I can ask some of my people, but I don't know who that is off the top of my head. Let me ask around, and when you come back with your answer, I can see what I found out."
Thank you. Just thank you.
Thank you, Lord Blackwater. That would be very gracious of you. Marcellinus bows to him. We shall return swiftly with our answer. Come, Quentin.
Quentin goes skipping.
Marcellinus
Why
lets
not?
out a huge sigh as he walks out of the Blackwater Strait. He says, "I feel very unsure about these deceptions."
Oh, don't worry. He knew I was lying from the get-go. I'm really bad at it.
He says, yes,
So
you are.
So in fairness, it's not really lying because he knew I was lying.
I feel like no one should have been here with us. She would have been better at such falsehoods.
Yeah, but she'd probably be better at the blood hands because you'd have been terrible there. Like, really, just bad.
Says, well, why didn't we just go as a group to both? This splitting up is
Because
confusing to me.
you don't like the blood hand and you bitched about working with them the first time.
Says, yes, but I could have waited at the inn while you all did that. Then we could have... Anyway, so you all kind of argue as you walk down the street. Meanwhile...
Bickering.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Philia and Moonbiter, you approach the Bloodhand base. As you approach, the slit opens in the door and a pair of eyes looks out and says, "What do you want?"
I sigh and I look at Philia.
Philia kind of just looks at the slit in the doorway and something going, "Can we talk to Citro, please?"
Who are you?
Philia rolls her eyes. "We're the people she asked for a favor."
Oh, you those heroes, then?
Yeah.
All right, one moment. Shh. Slit closes. About 2 or 3 minutes pass and the door opens. The guy motions, "Come on in."
Philia kind of gives him a nod and walks in.
He looks around outside and closes the door behind you. So you go through the room. There's the usual group of unsavory individuals eyeing you as you walk past. As you get to the back room, Cithril is sitting on her desk. She smiles and gives you a polite bow as you enter. She says, "It's the heroes. You've returned. Do you have news?"
Philia bows back and just kind of, we have a map for you, yeah, but what do you think about what was their name again? What's those people's name again? Oh my god.
Lord Blackwater?
There we go, yeah. Okay, what do you think about, wait, does she know, did Karen tell her about us talking
Neil
to
did.
Blackwater?
Neil. Karen asked Neil to ask her, and they said okay.
Yeah, when Neil showed up, Karen wanted to get an official contract and also get Synthil's thoughts on us working with Blackwater.
Okay.
And I don't think we ever got an answer about how they felt.
So
But
Cithril...
Neil said, yeah.
Well, when you first talked to Cithril, she said you shouldn't share any information with Blackwater. He's not to be trusted.
Well, we know that, yeah. But, good gracious. Okay. We need Karen. Good gracious.
Where's Karen? So, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So she, if you ask her about Blackwater again, she would say, "I don't have much love for Blackwater and his mercenaries, if I'm honest. We've never really seen eye to eye. I've heard that you are working for him as well as me, which I can't fault you for. money is money, and if you can get gold for both of us, I would do the same in your position. But moving forward, you're going to have to make a choice because we can't all be working together. Blackwater is not to be trusted. And she would
I
snap.
mean,
Or go ahead.
I would say if she says that, I would say, we barely just met you, and beyond the fact that we know Neil's abs real well, there's nothing else that
She'll
indicates.
laugh at that one. She visibly starts laughing and smiles and says, "Yes, the whole town seems familiar with Neil's abs at this point. The man just won't put a goddamn shirt on."
Yup.
I'll share a smile and say, there's really nothing we have going for us that we should, trust you anymore. Should we trust Blackwater? But as long as the coin is good and you hold your end of the bargain, then that's definitely, reasons why to stick with this partnership.
My coin is good, and my organization has contacts far beyond what Blackwater can offer. While his family is well placed within the political machines of the Empire, they are not necessarily friendly to him, and he will not be able to offer much beyond coin. Whereas, as I said, I can get us many more resources through my contacts.
I'm actually curious as she says it, and I say, so from what I understood before, between you, us, and Blackwater, the problem we were dealing with was a very local one, the Iron Tide. The way you're making the sound is as if once the Iron Tide is over, there is still a partnership to be had.
Of course, the the Blood Hand are always looking for skilled mercenaries and are willing to pay top coin for those skills. We always need to get things done, and we need people who can get things done, which is a rare commodity.
So you're saying that you're willing to pay for exclusivity as well.
She arches her eyebrow a bit. She says, if reasonable.
Oh god.
Okay. I'll at that point I'll, say nothing and I'll nudge Felia to keep going.
He like kind of mean mugs him a little bit and goes, "So we have some things for you, yeah. The maps and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, we are also did Moonbiter tell anyone about his plan on getting one of the prisoners out or no?
No, no one is aware. Like, I don't even think you guys are aware of this plan.
Okay. All right, cool. All
Yeah,
right.
Maybe
Um,
Duranu, because he was
maybe
there.
Yeah.
Toronto because he came with me. Like, he has an inkling of what's going on, but I don't think
I
he
think
believes. Go ahead.
I think I remember because when we first went there, you said something about trying to get them out.
Yeah.
You said
So
something about
Quentin has an
trying.
idea and Toronto has an idea.
Yeah.
okay. So okay, cool. Um, at the moment, there's only 6 of us going on, but would you be able to send us aid in case we get backed up or something like that?
Uh, aid for what?
In case we need help.
Need help doing what? What do you? What are your
Uh,
plans?
well, we might have to go to one of the sites on the map we're about to give you, yeah. And we're looking for 2 kids. Uh, I don't know the farmer's name, but I'm gonna just tell her the farmer's name. I don't know what it is, but we're looking for these 2 kids from this farm right here, and we're not sure we can find them in time.
She says, "Oh, the farm that I sent you to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, I know where those children are. They are safe."
feel it kind of like let's have relief and just okay, that's good to know.
She nods. She says, "I had some scouts who were watching the farm, which is how I knew it was a site that needed to be checked. And the children were seen fleeing at one point, which is when we scooped them up, and they've been put someplace safe for the time being."
Can we go see them?
I suppose. Why do you wish to see them? Just to make sure I'm telling the truth.
Feel it kind of looks a little bit sad. Well, I'm not sure the kids know that their parents have passed, and maybe they want to have a proper burial for them.
She says, "No, they know. They told me they saw their parents. Well, they didn't tell me. They told our people that they saw their parents were killed in the attack." They,
Do they know when they want to bury them?
I don't know. I guess we could ask them.
That's all I know.
She yells for someone who you don't recognize, and a cloaked figure walks in. She says, "Where are Gail and Bryce?" And he says, "Oh, I think they're at one of our other other buildings in the south part of town right now." She says, "Can you get someone to bring them here?" He nods and runs off. She says, "It'll take a little bit. I don't know if you want to come back later, but we'll get them over here so you can see them. Talk to them yourselves if you want."
Sheila goes ahead and gives her the map, the copied map.
Ah, excellent. She looks at the map. She looks at you. She says, "Is this the original?"
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't think so. She smiles. Well, nevertheless, we can discern what we need from this. She takes a look at it. Looks like she might have some knowledge of survival. She's kind of looking at some of the lines and the coordinates. Says, about a 3-day journey. This looks like some sort of mine. Would make sense. uh, we're probably going to have to send some people to look into this, which will require skilled professionals. Do you think you are willing to help us with this next phase of the plan?
Sheila kind of looks at Moonbiter and just kind of like shrugs.
I would ask, as you look at me, I would ask her, I would say, well, what is the next step of the plan?
She says a bit of reconnaissance as well as possibly some violence. We have to convince these Iron Tide members to move on. We can't have them nearby the town, and we need to, yeah, basically kill them until they leave, or maybe just kill them all if they won't leave. I have people that can help with this.
Hmm.
She says, if you're willing to work with me.
Well, how about we get back to you on that later on in the day?
Yes, I suppose you need to talk to the rest of your people. She says, oh, and I would ask that at this point, I know you probably made some money working with Blackwater, but I'll have to ask for some exclusivity moving forward. He must not be part of this next phase of the plan.
You said Blackwater must not be part of the next phase of the plan?
She nods.
And I'll look at you.
Which, do
I'll
you
look at
have
her curiously.
yeah, do you have insight? Give
No, I
me,
don't.
give me, anyone who wants can give me an insight check, I should say. You might.
Insight check. Ooh, it's
I'll
gonna.
try. Yeah, no.
Let me try.
Ooh.
Let's go ahead and use Philia's.
So this seems odd to you, Philia. First of all, you're not sure why this woman would care about the fate of this town. Secondly, if she does care about the fate of the town, it seems more wise to combine with the forces of Blackwater to both move against the Iron Tide. So it's a little bit curious why she's trying to do this by herself. As a mob boss type figure, generally you would think she'd only do things that had some kind of gain for her, and this doesn't really have any gain as far as you know. So there's a couple of things that seem odd to you.
Plot holes. Okay. Ophelia looks at her and asks, so, a quick question if you don't mind telling us. Is there a reason why you detest Blackwater so much?
She pauses a moment. Give me a persuasion check.
Gosh dang it! Okay. What's what we do? Am I blind? There it is.
She says, my reasons are my own. I would rather not discuss that, but suffice to say, Blackwater and I do not get along. And he will most likely give you the same answer as I have if you try to work with him. I'm sorry, but you will probably have to make a choice. And we are the correct choice, she says, smiling.
I would ask,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Philia.
No, go ahead, man.
I would just say, after that interaction, I would cock my head and I would say, I understand moving forward that exclusivity is something that would be nice to have because your goals might diverge from Blackwater. But from what we've seen, both you and he both want the Irontide situation taken care of, and it seems naturally this next step will lead to both of you wanting to deal with the same problem. Why is it that this is the point where you need exclusivity when honestly we could be getting paid from both of you for doing the same thing? It doesn't seem like your goals would be in conflict if you both want the Irontide taken care of, assuming that's what he wants.
Give me a persuasion check.
Gosh dang
Boom.
it.
Nah.
She says, "I understand your curiosity on this. I don't know if I can tell you everything that's involved right now, but I will say that at some point, if I feel that you are trustworthy, I can give you more details as to why Blackwater and I will not work together on this next part. Uh, so, the one thing I can say is that there is something we're both after, and only one of us can get it.
Hmm.
So just for my own clarification, because as a mercenary, I want to make sure I'm not getting screwed out of any money. If you say this is the next step of the plan is deal with the Irontide, and we do that, and Blackwater says the next step of his plan is for the leader of the Irontide to die. If we killed the leader and then that ends up making them leave, you still want us only to work with you on this part. As long
Give me another persuasion
I'm
check.
gonna use I'll use an inspiration point for this one.
Okay.
And can I help him
You
or no?
really, you really needed no one here for this. What would you say to
Yeah.
help him?
Ooh.
Because the thing is, we're just a group of mercenaries. We're out for the coin. We can't survive on only trust and all that kind of stuff. We need to have more information.
So what did you get? An 18?
And I use a superiority die to so 24
24.
total.
You can make a check as well, Ophelia, if you want.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
Probably gonna be trash, but alright.
So she walks past you, shutting the door, and she
Woo!
says, "There is
I
more to
take off my
this."
clothes.
That
Oh wait, never
well,
mind.
uh,
You gotta disarm the
wow,
situation. You
wow.
gotta get the cycle of power back in your favor, right? No, anywho, go on.
So she says, "There's more to this than the Iron Tide just being driven back. Uh, Blackwater and I are both after something that the Iron Tide has. Um, and there's a reason the Iron Tide are here. They didn't just show up to harass some border town that has nothing they want. That's all I'll say for now, is that there is something that both Blackwater and I need to get from them."
He was gonna go ahead and pull a Quentin and be like, so it was probably involved why he's being so secretive and importing a lot of things from other towns, yeah?
Yes, and I will say that Blackwater and I at one point were working together. And she
Hmm.
pauses for a moment as if considering something, and she says, "And I will also say that the Iron Tide, Blackwater, and I were all working together at one point."
Hmm.
I'm gonna narrow my eyes at her and I'm gonna say, "Are you the one that reneged on the deal? Are you the reason why I was out there targeting caravans?"
No, it wasn't me. It was, well, I don't know exactly who it was, but the purpose of the Blood Hand and all this was to scour the black markets to get Blackwater something he needed. That's the main reason why we were brought in. And later on, it was confirmed he'd need us for muscle in some later stage of his plan. There was a disagreement, but I don't know if it was I don't know if it was something that Blackwater had done or something that Orcard had done. As she reveals that she knows who Orcard is.
Yeah. I'll be a little bit surprised, and even though I'm horrible at, well, and actually no.
Bum bum bum.
Yeah, I was gonna say I will try to roll insight, but I don't have it trained, I'll just be naturally suspicious of her even more so now that she
I'll
knows who
roll it.
Orcard is.
Let me see.
Um,
Let me see. Where is it?
nope,
Nope.
we believe her,
I
and then we
believe
take off our clothes.
Sounds legit. She's like, why do people keep doing that?
What, inciting her or taking off their clothes? I mean, have you seen Neil? Like, Jesus Christ. You did it to
Like,
yourself when you
hasn't-
encourage that kind of
This guy's
behavior.
been hanging out with Neil too much.
Yeah.
Alright, there goes my
Awesome.
shirt. Alright, so she says you'll have to make a decision because, as I said, Blackwater is not friendly to us anymore, and he is not someone I trust. I don't think that he. I don't know who betrayed who, if it was Blackwater or Orcard, but my people were still left out in the rain because of it. And at this point, I have no wish to work with Blackwater further. He says, she says, but I still do wish to gain what he is looking to gain, and I can tell you more about that when I know I can trust you.
He like go ahead and nods and go ahead, Moonbiter.
Oh no, keep going, Liz.
So she kind of sighs and like taps her foot while crossing her arms, thinking. To make this clear, you do realize that if you're both going, if all three of you guys are going towards the same target, you end up running into them. You know that, right?
She says, yes, at some point I'm pretty sure Blackwater's forces and mine will come to blows. This is not going to end happily for everyone. She says, and of course we still have to deal with the Iron Tide.
Fila kind of looks at Moonbiter and like sighs again. I think we have to talk with our people about this.
I assumed you would, but there is a very valuable reward at the end of this road, which I think you will agree is worth pursuing. So talk to your people and let me know what you decide. But as I said, we are the right choice. Blackwater is not to be trusted. And
Fila kind of
obviously
taps
the
her foot.
Iron Tide are hostile, so...
She just taps her foot. Well, what about our reward for right now? We brought the information, didn't we?
She nods, and she picks up a sack that jingles and gives it to you. She says 300 gold pieces, 600 gold pieces as promised.
Thank you very much.
Right, and we are getting pretty close to the end time, so this might be a good place to stop. I assume you're going to have to go speak with Duranu about where the kids are.
Yes, and also get back with everybody, talk about what happened, all that kind of good stuff.
Alright, so let's say for now we just end here, and next game you can all meet at the end and talk about what the next step is.
Okay.
So good job, everyone. Why don't we do MVP votes?
Oh, that's a hard one. Shit.
Lots of RP this game, but hopefully you all still had fun.
Oh, shit. I said at like the start of last session that the Iron Tide weren't here for the fucking town.
Were they not? I thought that they had someone in the town sneaking about, didn't they?
Mm-mm.
No, after I like noticed them moving supplies and shit, I said that they weren't here for the fucking town.
Too much information. Good gracious.
Yeah. I may have not ever shared that information, I think I did when we first met that the Iron Tide started raiding caravans because they had to make up for Orcard.
I don't know if you. I know you mentioned it to me when we did the RP thing in the chat thing. I know you said that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moonbiter probably knew more than he's letting on.
Gosh, dang it.
I could have swore I said something about it, but I honestly don't remember like the RP, the initial RP where I got stabbed by Karen and we were talking at the caravan.
Quentin, oh, well, there we go. So Duranu with 2 votes, you were MVP. Good job.
Woo!
I've been banned from the next vote.
Get that inspiration point. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna take some notes, but good job, everyone.
Easy peasy.
Easy
See you
peasy.
all next week.
Also,
Wasn't
before
like-
you leave, Raven, would you mind working with me on my spells and all that kind of stuff before we forget?
Yeah. I'm not very good at warlocks because I have not played them much myself.
I can help you with your spells if you want. Played a few warlocks in my time.
Okay, let me see.
How
Right
many have you
now-
got?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cantrips.
Okay.
I have 6 cantrips, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 first level spells, and I have 3 second level spells.
6 cantrips. Did you say 7 first?
No, I have 1, 2, 3, 6 cantrips, and I have 6 spells for first level.
Okay. And how many second levels do you know?
I have 3.
3 second. Okay, and your Pact of the Tome
Yes.
and Patron?
The Fathomless.
Okay, so... Right. So, off the bat, you know 2 cantrips and 4 spells at this level. So, it's the Fathomless and the Pact of the Tome, which also, I do know, gives you extra.
Yeah. So that's 2 extra cantrips right there for Pack of the Tome, I believe. Let me make sure.
And you are a tiefling, which gives you something.
So yeah, I'm a tiefling, yes.
Oh, just like give me the stupid rules for it. Don't make me actually get physical books. Give me digital books, please. Don't make me. Right.
There we go. I have that as well. Just putting it all in the chat, by the way, on Roll20.
Wow, cool. Right, so you get 3 cantrips from any spell list, blah 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 blah. So that brings you to 5. Being a tiefling gives you 1 if I remember rightly.
Yes.
So that's 6. So your cantrips are correct. And then I believe the Fathomless does give you extra spells.
Let me post that up on there. Give me a second. Where is he? I do have Hellish Rebuke just for being a tiefling.
Yes. So Hellish Rebuke is one of your spells.
Yeah.
Fathomless doesn't give you extra spells.
I think I got.
It expands your spell list, but it doesn't give you extra spells.
Okay.
Just double checking that.
No, take your time, man.
So, what you should know is you should know 4 spells as Warlock spells and have Hellish Rebuke.
So that should be 5 then. So let me see.
And I think
did
that's
see-
5 total from first and second level, right?
Correct.
And I believe as you level up, you can change those on a level up, but I think you can only
yeah.
have up to 5, right?
Well, yeah, it changes per level, so you basically
Yeah.
get a new spell per level, and then if you change them, you change them. So you should have, when you level up to 4th, you'll have 5 spells plus Hellish Rebuke. And then Pact of the Tome gives you the Book of Shadows, which is a book that you can put rituals in, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
In this feature, the cantrips from any class spell list. While the book is in your person, you can cast these cantrips at will. They don't count against your number of cantrips known.
Yeah, on the list of, if you look at Warlock, there's spells known, which is.
Sorry, just what invocations do you know?
What are those again?
They should be on your character sheet as. Oh, 1 second.
Take your time,
I
man.
I can put. Oh no, I can only pull your bio. I can't pull up your thing. So they should be on the right hand side in your features and traits. It should be like Eldritch invocations.